Yes, good people. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone, but more importantly, Blue Morning, because if in fact it is the Blue Morning Show. Quite a lot to talk about. We'll talk about Dumfries, Leandro Trossard, what's his name, Moises Caicedo, Noni Madueke, and all the news, plus the news I know you guys will bring. But more importantly, I hope you're all doing well. Let's get into it right away. I hope you're living the blue life, more importantly. Things are looking good for us. Hopefully, again, a lot of players back in training, plus the new nice signings, I think will be all right. Blue Morning Kachila panel and chat. I'm Lane. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the show. For finding the time to join the show. I saw the coffee haven't kicked in very well, really. But more importantly, I hope you're recovering, brother. I've been praying for you. Please get better soon. Please like and subscribe when you enter if you have not, as it helps the channel reach a wider audience. Yes, we've been growing and we're getting closer and closer to 9,000 subscribers. Right now, we're at 8,515, and that is because of your support. So again, I appreciate all the support. I cannot thank you enough. Nothing is, again, I can measure that really. Here we have, who do we have there? Why is my screen slow again? Is it just me, or has Twitter become really, really slow? I have to be honest. Let me see, what else do we have here? Again, yeah, Twitter I think has become problematic of late, if we're being honest. To me, Chelsea will be very strong and fun and unchallenged in the coming future. That's for sure. Like I say it again, I'm sure. And again, if you're following the project, the progress they've made so far, the new owners, you be rest assured the future is very bright. My immediate concern is the immediate future. And again, it's looking like they're really doing something to sort out the issues we'll have right now to make sure we do well. But again, by at the end of the season, we'll find ourselves in a good position, at least fight for that top four, let alone not make it. So yeah, again, more importantly, I hope you're doing well. Musao Godfrey, thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Who else do we have here? We have, the Vibe. Nice to see you, brother. I said, Coach, let's get the beautiful morning going. I love that. Beautiful morning indeed. And more importantly, like I said, I hope you're enjoying the blue life. I hope you're living the blue life. I hope you're sleeping blue, waking up blue, and eating a blue. That's what we do. Well, Chelsea fans, just give me 1 second. Let me try and share the link with the panelists here. Again, I'll delay it a little bit so that I can get what you have. But just give me some minutes here. Right, I think I'll get that done in a bit. Yep, let's get it going. I love that. I love the way you put that. Big up to you too, AB. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for finding the time to join the show. The vibe says, Coach, how come shows again at a later time? I think because I have so much going on right now. So when I think I'll be able to wake up, yeah, when I wake up, I still not be ready because I need the coffee to kick in and all that. Again, but I think it will be starting at the usual time very soon. Again, but thank you for asking that question, bro. It's a sincere question, and I hope I answered I answered it the way you wanted. Luke Kochula, what would a Trossard bring if he comes? More importantly, he's played under Graham Potter. He understands how Graham Potter likes to approach the game. He's played again. He's a winger that's capable actually playing centrally as an 8, or let me just say an 8 or as a, but he's played again in the right wing back position for Graham Potter, so he understands how to execute that approach, which is again whenever the manager Graham Potter does that, he's doing that with an attacking intent, not to be defensively minded. And Trossard knows how to fulfill that role quite well. Plus, he's a fine player and he is in his prime, so we should mix it up. Yes, I get it. Younger players, fine, but if you don't mix it up, it will be difficult to win anything. Experience again does go a long way for any team that you want to bring up. We need Trossard, I believe so. To Evolution Ninad, I think Ninad, that was the correct pronunciation. Let me call it Evolution Ninad. If the latter is the correct pronunciation, right? Too. If it is the first one, right one. So let me know how to pronounce your name correctly. We need again Trossard. I think we need him. Big up, guys! Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Says my brother Bobby Smoky Signals. Thank you, guys. Again, the experiment that I did with reminding people to smash the like button. It's working really. We've beaten 200 likes in two consecutive days. It's worked quite well because all people sometimes need is just to remind them. So with the poll, I'll talk less about it and then keep again going through what we have here. Pudding says we need Rice, Caicedo, just terminate Alba's contract. Kai, Ziyech, and Pulisic is favorite of Todd, and Potter won't leave. At least again, you found a reason to see why it's not going to be easy to do again to get rid of these players. Really, not let me not say get rid of. They're not going to believe in. Whereas it sounds easy to some people, they're not paying attention to the reasons why they're going to stay. These players, Ziyech is a good player, but Ziyech will most likely leave. Before being honest here, if it doesn't, I'll be surprised. Alba may be his case is complicated. This season, Alba can only play for Barcelona and Chelsea, or Chelsea Football Club. Again, it'd be difficult for, and also I think something else I heard about that. I'm not sure about the details. Not well properly acquainted with the details. Barcelona will find it difficult registering him because they've sold him to another club, and if he comes back again, so it's a complicated. Again, I don't want to go into it really. But selling Alba this window will be pretty difficult. It'll be easier after the season. Let's see what we have here. Do you think Dumfries will come for less than a 50 million? The 50 million you're putting there, is it euros or is it euros or is it what's it called, or is it pounds? I want to know. I think it comes for less than 50 pounds from what we're seeing, because they're asking for 55 to 60 million euros, which you could say less than around, maybe if anything, it would be a little bit above 50 million pounds. The link will come in a bit, Bobby. I intentionally leave it so I don't keep you guys waiting while I'm trying to again say hello to people in the chat. I'll add the link in a bit. So I wanted to type link in a bit, but I tapped NK in a bit. Yeah, that's what happens when you do everything by yourself. Let's see again. We need Noni Madueke, Frank or Samoy. I'm sure you're Nigerian. Definitely, you get the name Madueke. Yeah, it probably sounds familiar to you, and you want him because probably, yeah, you're Nigerian and is of Nigerian descent. So, but yeah, it's not easy. They've rejected our initial bid, which is something around the region of 30 million pounds plus or so. They rejected it. So we have to go back in again if we're serious about him. And some people are concerned that he's injury prone. The link will come in a bit, Bobby. They're good, but we need to get rid of them. They are not consistent enough. A lot of, you can say nearly all the players we have in the team haven't, again, performed consistently, except for Thiago Silva. And you can say the reason may well be down to not, again, for them not playing together consistently. Because here's the thing, whereas again, rotation helps you rest players and keep them fresh, because no player can play the whole season without rest and did burn out. So again, that's where rotation comes into play. But rotation also, when you overdo it, it can be detrimental to team chemistry. And because you switch one player with the other, again, it doesn't help really. But that's, by the way, your thoughts on Kyle Walker-Peters is good for a backup, in my opinion. But we should refrain from using that term backup. With Chelsea Football Club, we want to be at the level of Manchester City, where if one player gets injured, whoever comes in will be good enough to, again, for our quality to still remain where it is. Not when, for instance, when Reece James gets injured, whoever comes in will be most likely, we already know we're done for the season. You don't want it like that. You want competition. You want a situation where you have two players, again, that compete, that, again, can measure each other's quality, maybe differ a little bit, again, which is good. Again, there's hardly two players on planet Earth that measure each other in terms of quality. One will be better in some aspect, and the other will be better in some aspect, which which is complementary. So you would need one player for a certain type of football match, the other for a certain type of game or opponent per se. So in this case, we need competition for James. The competition will make Reece James even better. Will push him to become better, because as much as as good as you think Reece James is, he still have quite a lot to learn. He's still I think he can do even more, and even he knows it. So again, we don't need backup. We need competition. We need rotational player. Just like Man City, whoever comes in, you still be afraid because you know they're not a backup. They're a starting player. That's the day they get the chance to play. But that's, by the way, again, Leicester want Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Porter is willing to let him go. I think he would fit them. Plus, Brendan Rodgers was his coach at Chelsea Academy. So it makes good. It's a win-win for us, really. We could say, take him on loan if we still believe in him. Because here's the thing with Loftus-Cheek, the club's hierarchy love him, except if things has changed, that we have new owners. But I think even Potter knows what he's capable of doing. He's not a deep-lying midfielder, first of all. He's not a winger, first of all. He's an 8. Why he hasn't gotten the chance to play there, I don't know. And you could argue he's actually better than some of the 8s we have in the club. But that's me, probably a bit biased because I love Ruben Loftus-Cheek. But I'm not going to get into that much. I would want him to go, maybe let's say on loan, because Brendan Rodgers knows him quite well. He coached him. He was his coach in his academy days. So be rest assured he'll be firing on all cylinders when he gets there. It will take a while, but Brendan Rodgers will play him closer to the final third in the number 8 position, and you see the best of the man. I would prefer Pedro Porro at Chelsea than Dumfries. That's the reason. Olawale, I'm not going to go into that. Again, the love triangle situation we've heard about, again, that it involves him, again, what's his name, João Felix's girlfriend. So we don't want that, friction in our dressing room right now. So I would be better. For me, I'd prefer us to get Dumfries and not, I don't want any drama in the dressing room. Okay, having a conversation there. Pedro Porro won't join Chelsea because of João Felix. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you know the story. Denzel Dumfries will be ahead of Reece James. You think? So I'm seeing an update here. Let me see if something I need to share. Okay, that's some nonsense for Andreas Christensen's camp because he won 1 trophy. Now they're coming out saying how he wanted to stay in London, but we didn't trust him, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to go into that, really. Denzel Dumfries will be ahead of Reece James. That's, again, I want us, again, I'm glad you're seeing it like that. Yeah, let's see it again. Let there be an argument. Reece James is better. No, Dumfries is better. Yeah, well, I want to have the two that again sort of scenario. I don't want a scenario where you say, "Oh, Reece is starting." I want a scenario where we'd be arguing, no, it's Reece, no, it's Dumfries. That is if we eventually secure his signatures. That's what we want at Chelsea Football Club. And that's why I like this comment. Denzel is a guy out there who's capable of pushing him to do even better. Plus, Denzel being available could mean certain games we could just push Reece to the midfield because he's capable of, operating there too and help us do well. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about there. You get the Luigi Pellegrini. Yeah. So again, but I have my argument of who is ahead of the other person. But I like that's such again what I want to be hearing from Chelsea fans. This person is better. This in a single position and not one being again one being again a starter and the other one being a backup. So when the starter gets injured, we're doomed. We need a competitor for James, not a backup. Thank you, Olawale David. That's my point. We don't use the language backup here, no matter the situation. Again, the Rock Fan, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for finding the time to join the show. Serginho Dest will give Reece James a good competition, in my opinion. No, not really. I think James can, offensively, defensively, James can be better than him. James will beat him hands down. If anything, I'd argue maybe Dest will probably again. That is if James at this point is injury prone, but I'm not going to jump to that conclusion. He just again has to find a way to manage his fitness. Dest isn't. No, I'm an American actually, but I still don't think he's close to James. He still has a lot. No, James is way better in that case. But that's by the way, people. If you're just joining, please make sure to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for all the support. Dumfries again has more quality than Reece James. That's the sort of argument I want to see. Let me just say the sort of player you want to have at the club. Blessings to you too, Courtney. I hope you're doing well. I don't see Enzo coming in January. It's a summer move. Then that will be good. But I still think Caicedo should come. I think we'll probably end up getting Caicedo. It's one Rogue Dumfries coming to United. Glasses. Yeah, let's see what happens. I get it. Let's see where he goes. If he goes to United, fine. But I think we're getting him. Steven Obasa, for me, it's a strict decision between selling Ruben Loftus-Cheek and selling Gallagher. And for me, it's selling Ruben Loftus-Cheek, even though I also, again, was a big fan of RLC. He's had his opportunity and age is not on his side. I think that the RLC is one player we're underrated so much, but I'm going to move on from that. But I get your argument, brother. Dumfries can get out of a press, doesn't back pass to the keeper, always makes the pass from defense under pressure. Here's the thing, James can do that too, but sometimes he needs a manager like Thomas Tuchel who will yell at him if he opts for safer options and don't try to beat the press and don't try to progress the ball no matter the pressure from the opponents. He can do that, but sometimes he needs that push, that little gas in behind him. De Lorenzo is also a good option, but I don't think we're going to sign right back in this window. Chalobah and Aspie will play for now. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up happening, given the ground Potter's coming that, yeah, we cannot just, again, be running into the market to find solutions to the issues we'll have. As much as it's a good thing, but right now, I think we have to. It just seems as if we need to actually go to the market and again get the players we want to solve the situation. Yeah. Again, wow, Luigi. Again, big up, bro. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I know why you're saying wow. That argument, right? Glenn. I hope you're doing well, brother. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Des is not in James's level. James is far better. That's my argument too. Another thing, Dumfries doesn't get injured. He stays fit. That's a plus. Again, I dislike back passes. We all do. But it looks like we've done it so much. Again, the current crop of Chelsea players have done it so much that it comes natural to them. Instinctively, that's what they do, really. And that's concerning. And you can see you'll be yelling at your TV and asking the question why they did that. Hakimi is the only closest to James. And you can say James is actually better defensively. But I'm not sure about offensively who I'd say who's better than the other person. But I think Hakimi had, James hasn't really measured Hakimi's output the year he played alongside Lukaku. He was one of Lukaku's chief creators. I think we need him to back up James. Dominic, we don't use the term backup here. We need competition. We need somebody who, even if they get a chance, they do better than James. James is never consistent. You could say down to his injuries. Seko Fofana is the truth. Again, he's better than any of our current midfielders, and also better than Caicedo. Seko captains learns and again and are currently Learns are currently second again in the league R table. Okay, I will look at him. I don't know him that much. Dumfries plays in Italy. Slow, yeah. Again, he won't be the same again in the Premier League. Well, let's see what happens. I'd be happy if we get him. He started in the Netherlands, and the Netherlands is on a slow league, really. Dumfries is the best right back in the world for me. Wow, are you from the Netherlands? I want to know, but your name doesn't sound like you're from the Netherlands. I cannot depend on James to get even a half a season right now. We need exciting a player to compete with them. Competition is the key word there. No need going into the argument who's better than the other person. Jabulani, let's get Dumfries to complement Reece James. Dumfries is a team player, a fighter, just like Reece James. Caicedo is also a must sign again to further strengthen our midfield. Chichinho must be released. I think we must sell him now. If the January transfer window shuts and it's not gone, then he leaves on a free. So if we get the chance to sell him now, we might as well just do it for whatever price. Again, the willing buyer is offering. Just 1 second, let me not lose my voice. Yeah, again, let's see what we have. If we somehow get Rice from again and stop him from going to Arsenal, that would be jokes. But we can't just get him for the sake of for the fact that Arsenal are interested in securing his signature. I think it will be a piece of business that doesn't make sense. If the manager has looked at him and feels like, okay, he fits into the project, then maybe we should try and get him. But right now, do I think he's the one that, again, Graham Potter will be eager to get? I don't think he's the one, really. But that's, by the way, we're moving from that one. I'm from Kenya. Okay, bro, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much, my African brother. Big up. Let's see. Caicedo and Zakaria, perfect DMs. I'm skeptical about Zakaria now. He's been with us just for a few months, and he's gotten injured twice, and plus there were questions regarding his fitness, which was why even when we're struggling, we had a lot of players injured. He didn't get the chance to play in the midfield area. He's shown, again, we've seen flashes as well of what he's capable of doing, but that's not enough, really. We have to, again, wait to the end of the season. There's still enough time to assess him. If he stays fit and not be in and out of the team due to, again, one knock or the other, I don't think we'll buy him. I don't think the club will consider keeping him on a permanent if it turns out that he's really injury prone, because it will be a piece of business that doesn't make any sort of sense. Hello again, Yap again from Ireland. Nice to see you again. I hope you're doing well. Francis Winters, it's been a minute. I haven't seen you in a few days now. I hope you're well. Again, we wanted Vlahovic last summer. No, yeah, we wanted him. I think we were linked with him even before he moved. Before he moved to Juventus from, was it Atalanta? Where again he killed it. For some reason, a lot of players that were signed before the current Juventus coach returned, they're not doing well under him. I don't know why. Again, need to release Alba first. Yeah, if we can sign him, we need to do that. Yes, people keep liking the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if we haven't. We have 111 people watching, so we should have at least again, let's say 90 likes. Yes. Fiorentina, yes. And Luigi, if you use all caps, the machine that's policing the chat will delete your message. So if you're listening, it's not a human being, it's a machine. So yeah, we have 111 people watching, so we should be doing better than 53 likes. If you haven't, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, you guys are absolute legend, and I appreciate all the support. What else do we have here? Again, Vlahovic will be a great signing. He will be still very young, so from his age perspective, he fits again at least half of the required qualities criteria for the current project. Again, under 25 and that, but we still need to. He's played so long, and I think even at his age, he's very experienced. We should get a right back like Pedro Porro in order to keep Reece James from being injured player. Okay, I get that. Sunday, thank you for that. Right should be our first priority, along with Caicedo for centre forward. We need a Vlahovic type again. Haaland competition. Yeah, again, I don't want again a situation where we have a traditional striker. Then by default, if the striker is on the pitch, then again our goal scoring opportunities will be channeled through a single individual. And again, if the opponents are smart enough to mark him out of the game, we're done. So I like it that our goal scoring again is diversified. Then it would be very difficult to stop. The only thing that again that's left for us to get more creators, more again central attacking central attacking midfielders who'll be producing double digits by the time the season ends. Something like that, I think, would take us a long way. Both Chiesa and Vlahovic were from Fiorentina. Yeah, they did quite well there, and Vlahovic was on fire there, really. Good morning, Coach. Good morning, Chinedu Biogom. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. I appreciate that. Yes, people, keep liking the stream. Again, like and subscribe if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. We're 57 likes right now. Let's try to get it to 100 likes as soon as possible. That will go a long way. Would have loved a Chiesa at Chelsea, but we don't need any more wingers. Plus, it looks like, again, to me, he just recovered from a long-term injury, and he's not going to come for cheap, which makes it a huge risk. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is he back yet? I don't remember. I haven't followed him in a while. I swap Ziyech with Chiesa. Okay, if that's what you want. Well, I think I'd rather keep Ziyech, again, given that we have more than enough wingers right now. So again, is it true that Eva that has returned to Chelsea? I don't know. I read a news again relating to that. I'm not sure. I'm not paying attention to that really. Can we not record Dino Sterling for remaining half of the season and take our time again to fill the right back role again in the summer, or is he not again? Is he not good enough? Are you talking about Dusan Sterling? I think it's good enough, but let's pay attention to what happens really. Again, why Chelsea want to spend for Caicedo when we have got already again Andres Santos? Santos probably again. I think it's something that has to do with this work permit. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything. I'm not sure the plan that the club has for him right now. But I get that in the bit. Vlahovic and Nkunku will work, and Nkunku can play as a second striker. But I don't like, again, I wouldn't want Nkunku to play again that further forward. I'd like him to play a little bit deep because you'll be wasting his creativity if you deploy him even as a second striker. I'd rather him play as a playmaker, as an 8 or 10, actually, which is capable of doing more of a creator than him. States, although it will still be a fluid approach, but I'd rather him play again a bit deeper so we can get the best out of him. Let's see what we have again. Eva Canero is coming back to Chelsea. I haven't heard that, and that's the list of my concerns. Injury is what we do, Coach. Again, up the Chelsea. Yeah, and maybe that's a sign that the player it's really was again meant for Chelsea. If they're injured, when we're looking at them, that's when you look at it and say, yeah, this player is truly a Chelsea player. If that makes any sort of sense, I want Chelsea to get Noni Madueke to challenge Ziyech. I don't think it challenges Ziyech. Ziyech is a different type of player. Noni Madueke is also a different type of player, or probably replace him permanently in the future. Pulisic has no place in this team again. He should be allowed to go. It's not that simple, really. And I'm not going to get into that. I hope you know. Please, let's get Caicedo. Yeah, I think we're trying. I seen where Teddy again. Chelsea doesn't have idea about players. They just wait and see which players has Arsenal want. He must be an Arsenal fan. I see that. But also, welcome to the channel, and thank you for saying that. Let's see again. Santos is a forward, not a DM. Caicedo is a DM. But again, Caicedo, you can say, is a hybrid DM. You can say more. Again, I see him as a box-to-box player. Actually, Coach, please again, a profile for us. Kolo Moani of Frankfurt and Ismail Kone of Canada. I don't know these players quite well. I'd have to do some research to understand them very well. I don't just want to be throwing information at you from my wazoo. Again, I'm from the kingdom. Again, it's Eswati. Again, in between South Africa and Mozambique. That's the correct way to pronounce it. And Mozambique, off front of Vlahovic or Osimhen. Welcome here, my brother Zamaro. Thank you so much for saying where you're from. That means a lot to me. And this year again, I learned that James and Chilwell are both again they're both back. Either Enzo or Caicedo, yeah, a good finish as soon as possible. I think I love again your mode of I love our mode of recruitment at this time in around by building from the back, then midfield, and finally a striker. A striker is the least of my issues because I don't know how to explain that really. I want Ziyech to stay again because he crosses are so good. He's the best passer we have in the team right now. Yeah, but we'll find out more what the club wants to do with him. If we have Vlahovic and Kunku who can again convert those again, those done perfectly, then Pulisic should leave as soon as possible. But yeah, it's not that simple. Not just because he's American, his business too. If he's doing well, even to a considerable measure, and it's not pushing to leave, if he again and it's not renewing, if it's not renewing, then the club will have no option to sell him. But if he renews again, if he agrees to renew and and he's doing again an okay job for the team, I don't think he goes anywhere. So let's start again picking the topic one by one. I think it will probably be mixed. Again, it will probably be everywhere. Given how I picked it, I haven't had the time to sort them out. But that's by the way again. And I have my brother Bobby in the house. Bobby, how are you doing? Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show.
Yeah, Coach, good to be here. I always, when I have a period of time like this where I can actually do these things at this time, I always target your show because I believe that really, I think you are one of the most hardworking and consistent Chelsea makers out there. It's true, and you deserve a reward for this effort. So anything I can do to support you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I enjoy it. I enjoy talking about my club.
Appreciate it, and hopefully someday we'll meet face to face.
Oh yeah, absolutely, especially if you make a trip up to the bridge or
oh sure, I'm never gonna again because usually I stop. There's a stopover. What's the Heathrow? There's always a stopover at Heathrow Airport. So again, I've done that like more than 20 times, and again, but anytime that again happens again, I think we're planning. I've spoken with my wife. The next vacation may well be in England. So let's see what happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, bro. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. That encourages me to do even more. So thank you. I cannot thank you enough. So guys, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. This one here says Chelsea will be moving to sign Zakaryan. Again, Zakaryan this January. The club are still watching him. And something could happen down the line, but he's not the priority he was in the summer. I think the whole complications regarding the politics, I really don't want us to go into it. I think, yeah, that one it's become so difficult. The kid wants to come to us. We want him, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I don't know if you want to talk about that or we move on from that, Bobby.
Yeah, I actually wanted to talk about something you mentioned before, if I may, which...
yeah, go ahead. You can go back.
Which I hadn't... Yeah, Trossard.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I am a strong advocate for Trossard to Chelsea. I think it's a player we should go for. Sorry, I was having a gulp of coffee.
Yeah, that's important.
It's a player we should go for.
Brother.
Why do I say this? Trossard is somebody that could play right back, which is really what we need, and his flexibility will dovetail with Reece James' flexibility on two different ends of the pitch. Trossard is flexible as a right back who can play as a forward, and though Reece James can play as a forward and probably play anywhere, his strength is as a right back, right wing back, playing into midfield and centre back. What a wonderful right side that will give us, together with the offensive players that we're getting. I still believe, despite some doubters yesterday, I still believe we're getting Nkunku. I do have concern about.
No, I think it's done really. But go ahead.
Yeah, I believe that's done. I do have concern about João Felix. I know, he's extended. It's a cost thing, but I also know that these owners have their wits about them. And what I really love about these owners is that they're driving the media mad. The media cannot understand what they're doing, and long may that continue. They keep giving people smoke screens and confusions until they land. And that's the best way to do it, because Chelsea is so hated that if you start letting people know what you're doing, they'll either mimic you or they'll scupper it. For example, we know we need the right back, but if we make too much noise about it, that increases the price. Look at the price, what they're doing with the price of Declan Rice, all this rubbish about, Arsenal, yada, yada, yada. It's just to keep it at 100 million upwards. That's what that's about. So I going back to Trossard, I really, really want this guy. I want Noni. I've looked at him on the videos. I've spoken to a couple of people. I didn't know that much about him. England under-21 international. Yeah, his injury seems to be a lot of people's concern, but he's coming as a squad player, which would be good. I mean, he would be a rotational dynamite.
And if he overcomes the injury, fine.
Yeah, and he's young enough to do that. I don't know the details and extent of that injury. I just think the squad overhaul is very much on its way, and it's wonderful. In midfield, getting Caicedo, maybe even Musa, is another thing. I'm all for that. In fact, I think if you get Musa, you may not really need to get Enzo, to be honest. Him with someone like Moises Caicedo would be a tremendous midfield. And I have to make a case for Conor Gallagher. Now, I believe Conor Gallagher can be converted.
Can we leave him when we get to him, because we have something lined up for him, if you don't mind.
If he's on the show, please call me in, because
it is on the list. It is on the, because he was asked about his future, and that's a response. Then we can take it from there, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Plus all the guys that I think are going to go, because there are people that will go. You know how much I love Ruben. I'm such an advocate.
Well, unfortunately for me, I think it's time he leaves.
It's time. It's especially with these new guys coming in. I think his time is coming. I've met Ruben personally. I've met him as a little kid. I've watched him play in the development. So it's with a lump in my throat that I say, son, it's time you move on, and good luck to you. It's because your injury has caused this. And if there are better players coming in.
What an unfortunate, again, that friendly in the US, ever since, it has never been the same.
No.
Yeah. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat, Bobby. We'll come back in with topics before it grows too much. Again, people, you guys are absolute legend. 72 likes already. Let's get it to 100 as soon as possible. Let's shoot for 300 likes a day. We can actually do that. We lack a good cross again. A good crosser at Chelsea Football Club. That's why assists are not too many. Here's the thing. Let me say it this way: we lack players capable of creating chances from central area. I think people come to play against us knowing that, again, 99.9% of the times the chances we create come from the flanks. So they prepare for that. So usually it's easy to stop. But when we diversify our chance creation, when we have central attacking midfielders who are capable of creating chances from the center area, then it becomes difficult we become unpredictable, because you think the chance will come from the flanks. It comes from the center area. Somebody will just make a run. The wingers who usually cross the ball will not make a run, and the chance creation will come from the center area. That's what makes Man City unpredictable. That's when you think it comes from the flanks, it will come from the center area. But we're not like that. It is always from the flanks, and it's predictable. So I wouldn't say the issue is that we don't have good crosses. We should diversify our chance creation, if that makes any sort of sense to you. But that's, by the way, this one here, again, just talking to Luigi, let me see anything. Kai is young and has quality. He just needs a perfect assistant. Yeah, I think you could argue that. So some argument applies to some of the young players we have there. We seem to look beyond their age and expect them to be finished articles or products right now. But so to speak, I don't think that should be the case. I want to see Ziyech playing as a 10. I believe you get more out of him. He played that position at Ajax. Here's what it takes to get the best out of Ziyech is always play through him. Again, always get the ball to him. But I think it's a little bit too late right now. I think it's at the point where the most likely, what will happen most likely will be he leaves the club. I think he'll be better off leaving the club. He'll be happier, actually. 100% Bobby, again, somebody agreeing with you. If you're in the chat, keep using, the red heart button. You can use, is that the flower or what? I don't know what's this called. Or the 100% button. It shows, again, you are enjoying the show, and that can help trigger the YouTube algorithm. Please keep pressing it whenever you get a chance. You will see it if you're on a mobile device. 100% Bobby. Ziyech has a fan base at Chelsea, but again, I find his crosses to be too long, unreachable, and sometimes, again, squanders the chances of a striker to finish it. No, you cannot blame him for those things. If anything, it is the lack of chemistry. It is because those attackers, you often misread, again, his passes. His passes is so, again, excellent in terms of the pace. If it gets to you, if you time it very well, all you need to do is just direct it. You don't need power. You don't need to power head it. And one thing again about his passes, by the time the opposition defense realizes again what's going on, the ball gets to its intended destination. So I wouldn't blame him for the strikers missing his passes. Again, that's an argument I would like to get into. I am from Nigeria. Thank you, my Nigeria brother. I am a 200% a Chelsea fan. Wow, that's a plus. I love seeing that. I love and I'm passionate about this club. We need a potent striker. Osimhen, Vlahovic, and the likes. I think I love this Pedro Porro as much as Dumfries. Here's the thing about Osimhen. I don't think he's the man for us, but I'm not going to get into that argument right now. We'll talk about that some other time. Again, I don't go with fan-based opinions. I go with what I see on the pitch and players. That's what we're here for. You have every right to express your opinion, and I have every right to express mine. But I've told you why I think he shouldn't be blamed for the strikers missing those passes. I hope you understood that, Luigi. Again, hello everyone. Hello to you too, Chama Nedalo. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. McAllister too can play right back, but I think he doesn't want to leave Brighton right now. And again, we'll have to be mindful on how we want to take everybody from them. I think he will. What's the term for it? I don't want the relationship to go sour, really. Trossard is good, but the Pedro Porro is a fantastic player. He's also a dead ball specialist. Wow, okay, that's good to see. Coach, again, Kolo Muani played for Frankfurt during the Qatar World Cup, for France during the Qatar World Cup. He even had more time than Thuram. Ismail Kone was the engine for Canada during the Qatar World Cup. Yeah, I need to see them up close. But I'll do my research. I promise you that 50% off on the cheapest player. If we get both Caicedo and Trossard, loyalty bonus. Yeah, again, Trossard is available right now. If anything, he'd have less than a year left on his contract or so, or just 1 year. I'm not sure. There was a time, did they trigger the extension? I don't remember really. Chelsea is hated because we had, again, a Russian oil money. Now we have American on our side, jealousy to its maximum. I'd say that. Again, we're hated because of our success. Hijack Diaby from Arsenal. No, you keep Diaby. We don't want him. The media sounds jealous of Chelsea, especially that Cook guy. I think Bobby probably knows who Cook guy. I don't know the guy in question. I can beat my chest that Noni would be, again, an icing on the cake in our brilliant attack going forward. We need him, at least for squad depth. He's a fine player. I think he can overcome the injury, like Bobby has said. He just needs time. He's still very young. Marcus Thuram is linked to Chelsea. His dad, Leandro Trossard, I loved him so much. Again, a defender, I think right back actually played as a centre back for Chelsea. Yeah, but again, here's where the issue with that one. I'm still saying I don't think we can offer him anything close to what he'd get if he leaves Monglai back on a free. He gets a sign-on fee. Plus, in the summer, there will be, again, you could say, plenty of clubs vying for his signature. And he said before that he would take his time to consider his options. So that's probably why that one it has cooled off a bit. We haven't heard much about that. But yeah, so let's see where that goes. I'd want him because he's also capable of playing on the flanks. He's explosive. He's got the pace. And he's exploded this season in terms of his goals output. But let's see what happens. Gallagher can be converted to a winger, and Bobby is suggesting playing as a deep lying midfielder, and he executed that so much again, so well again in the last game we played. Tom again, Abidokun. Hello to you too again, brother. I hope you're doing yes. Again, a big up again for both Madueke and Trossard. Again, played very well during his short stint at Spurs. I'm just going to say this quickly. Jabulani, you don't want, again, the police, their Nightbot, to start deleting your messages if you're using too many caps. And remember, I know you already know, it's not a human being, it's a machine. It will do that in a heartbeat. Chelsea will never have a top scorer entirely because every scorer, let's have, again, players that can support our strikers. Our striking force, yeah, I think I understand what you mean there. One of the problem we need to solve, to address, is that we always kill our attack. Yeah, that comes down to a lot of, again, being cautious, picking and choosing when we attack. So it would take some coaching. It would take, again, Graham Potter being vocal about it. Whenever it happens, again, he lets the player know he doesn't take that lightly. You have to, again, progress the ball at all costs and not opt for safer options. It doesn't help us. Again, we can see, again, it just seems as if it's part of our DNA in terms of our playing style these days. Morning from South Carolina. I can't say that name. Ryan Wikowski, thanks so much again, and thank you for finding the time to join the show. Again, my fellow American, I appreciate that. Let's go, you Blues. Thank you so much. Yes, let's go. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, we have 84 likes. We should get it to 100 as soon as possible. Noni, again, a very good crosser of the ball, a sharpshooter, even with his weak right foot, and an excellent dribbler, a passionate and energetic player moving forward. Here's one thing I like about him: he dribbles with ease, seamlessly. Again, he doesn't break his sweat when he dribbles. Again, that is one thing I like about him. Hopefully he stays fit, and hopefully we'll be able to get him because he's, again, I think they rejected our initial offer, which was around £35 million or so. As Belgium guy, again, I can say that Trossard is good, just like Talisman, but not on the level of elite club like Chelsea. More importantly, I think he's good. I'd take him over Talisman. He brings more to the team than Talisman does. Talisman plays closer to the final third for Leicester City, but let's check his goal output and assist. He should be doubling that. I think, to me, Trossard will make, again, Graham Potter's job easier, given that he's played under him and he understands how the manager prefers to approach the game, if that makes any sort of sense to you. Let's see. Again, problem is that we move forward instead of being a direct. The back pass, again, keep ball position in advanced areas, whereas, again, the team has to attack or shoot. I think that makes correct sense. Is there any pictures from training ground today? I'll see if I see any. I'll share that. I see you like being visual all the time. But that's, by the way, yeah. I want to get again Glenn's thought on that IQ on that argument from what's his name? On that argument from Mr. Troublemaker, whether you'd prefer who do you prefer, Talisman or Trossard as a Belgium? Let's see what your decision would be. To be honest, our coach doesn't know what he wants or what he needs. Okay, you cannot keep buying a player once you have those players. With coach can convert Gallagher to CDM. He can Let's see what happens. Really, we'll move on to the next topic we have lined up here. And more importantly, guys, I hope you're doing well. Excuse me, I think I need to cough out. Yeah, it's a throat right there, and I gotta take a sip of my coffee so I don't lose my voice. Yeah, thank you, people. Much love. I appreciate that. And this one says again, on the training ground, they look serious during the game. nonsense. No, again, no, they look what they look serious, but during the game, no seriousness. Oh, okay, now I get it. We're not seeing reflection of yet what we're seeing on the training ground. With what I've watched from Modric video clip, I think he's a proper replacement of Eden Hazard. I want him to be different. I think he's even more direct than Eden Hazard. Again, Eden Hazard, again, there's a way he picks and chooses when to like exploit spaces. That's not mean again. That's his style. Modric is always again forward all the time. Just get Pedro Porro or Dumfries as James is back up. Let's see what the club does. Why is my screen frozen right now? I don't like that. But that's, by the way, let me see what else I can touch up here. As long as she can still hear me, I don't have a problem there. So we have, oh my God, my screen is frozen. Oh, Bobby, if you can hear me, you can go ahead. You can talk about any topic you have in mind while I try to sort out this.
Yeah, I was thinking that if indeed we manage to land the targets that we're linked with and complete them, then I can think of certainly in the summer as many as 8, 9 players being offloaded. Looking at the likes of Mendy, Edu Mendy, Aubameyang, possibly Sterling, Ruben, it's quite likely, Ziyech is likely, Pulisic, possibly, definitely Jorginho, quite possibly Kovacic, possibly Sterling, I think Callum Hudson-Odoi. So there's a lot of players that will be offloaded for sure. Some of them, it'll be really sad to see them go, but the best remedy to that is for the club to bring in top quality. And this is what they're trying to do, especially young quality. As the issue about Conor Gallagher.
I'm going to operate. I'm going to be operating from here until I fix what's wrong with the screen. I think too many windows open. But go ahead, Bobby. What you're saying?
Okay. I think it's time for Potter to really start to stamp his authority as a coach. He's done it before. Part of the reason I want Trossard is because of the right wing back situation, and he used Trossard effectively as a right wing back for Brighton. Now, I think it's time for us, because of the way the squad is, and because of the fact that technically he's not really the best, although he's more or less a number 8, number 10 sort of player. I think it's time we converted Gallagher to play in the midfield, but further back in the field. If we're playing with sixes, he could be one of two. Even if he develops his game further, he could become a very, very good CDM, because he has the engine on him, he has the endeavor on him, he's able to finish, he can shoot and score, and he has enough technical ability to conduct that role well. I think of people like McAllister, the Argentine player in Brighton. I think he was a converted player to the midfield role, and I forgot where he played before, but he didn't start off as a midfielder. And I think in that role, Gallagher is better than McAllister, and I think even England will benefit from it, because our midfielders in England are all quite stereotypical, apart from Jude Bellingham, and someone like Conor Gallagher, if he plays that role, even beside a Jude Bellingham, it would be amazing, because he has a unique engine on him, almost Kante-esque. So I'm all for him playing in that role, and I think we should try that again, as we did against Palace, with him against Liverpool. If he proves himself and he plays that role effectively against Liverpool, I think he'll be a shoo-in. He'll start to slowly begin to stake a claim as one of the mainstays in midfield. Also, it would probably save Chelsea some money, because then we'll just be looking at somebody else, either more defensively minded or more offensively minded. And we really wouldn't need to make more than 2 midfield purchases to make the midfield complete. People like Mason Mount can actually stick to playing the 8 role. And certainly the likes of João Felix, if he stays going on to next season, will be able to play further up the field where they're more effective. So, that's my theory on Conor Gallagher. I'm a huge,
here's where
and
the
also
problem
he has the
lies, because
physicality.
here's where the issue lies. For him to start doing well in that particular in the deep line role in that midfield, you'd have to play him consistently there. Do we have the luxury to do that, especially this season where we're trying to salvage our performance to make sure we make it into top 4 and all that? That's where the question lies. Do we have the luxury? No. I think once N'Golo Kante returns, he'd stop playing there.
To be honest, I don't see N'Golo really coming back till maybe April. I mean, he's not even
I think he comes back in February.
Well, there again, and even if he comes back, what N'Golo are we getting? And I would rotate him considerably. I wouldn't just bring him back and start playing him game in, game out. I wouldn't do that. Certainly not this season. Maybe next season he can start to run out. I think we should, if Gallagher proves successful there, I think we should be playing him there as much as possible. And there's no reason why he can't play with N'Golo Kante there. Who else is there? The Moises Caicedo thing, we're still waiting to see what's going to happen. Even if he comes, he's not going to play there game in, game out. And so I think it's an important change. You see, it is having flexibility that makes a team dangerous. That's another reason why I want Trossard. And just as you said earlier, he adds to that, that offensive threat. He's someone that can score a goal if he plays offensively. If we get a striker, sometimes we can play with the striker. Sometimes we can play without the striker, because there'll be enough goal threat from different areas to support the forward line. And if the midfield is refurbished, as we're trying to do, it just makes Chelsea a totally different prospect. I think, personally, I mean, I don't know what's in Potter's head, but if he really wants to impress, I think that's just the way to go. Gallagher has already sent enough signals that he's that guy. And if you're going to get rid of somebody like Ruben, there's no point getting rid of Ruben if you don't have somebody that could almost be the equivalent. The only thing Gallagher would not be able to do that Ruben does is play right back. But if Ruben goes and Gallagher steps in, they'll be able to do the exact same thing. Double pivot and number 8, anywhere in midfield. I'm all for it, really.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. A good shout here from Glenn here. He says again, I am with him on Trossard. He has had a very good spell at Brighton, but as far as Belgian wingers, I'd rather go for Doku than Trossard. He is a good player, still a bit raw. I think I did a video on Doku. Even I don't know so much that much about him than with Matt J Balls. Doku, is he capable of playing from the deeper area, like starting in terms of playing like in the wing back position? That's what I want to hear from you, Glenn. Because the reason I'm choosing my preference is Trossard, is that he's played on the ground, Potter. Plus, he's played from the wing back area. Still, with the structure is usually with an intent to attack by ground, Potter, where he plays the 3 at the back structure with wing backs, but the wing backs are expected to attack
more than even to defend. They are expected to drop deep to also help in defend, but mainly their responsibility is to join the attack. And Trossard did that quite well for him. So now my point is, given that Trossard is playing on the ground, Porter, and he's played, again, he's helped him whenever he has that structure where he wants wingers in the wing back position. He's played there for him on several occasions. So that makes the whole thing easy on Porter, if that makes any sort of sense to you. That's why, and you could say at least help us start doing well. Let's say like yesterday, because but I get your point on that one. Let me see what else we have here. Quiet. And guys, bear with me. I'll be back on camera in about 4 minutes or so. I'm sorting out the issue. I have too many windows open. This is a brand new system. I'm not sure. Maybe they tricked me with the memory. I'd have to check it to see if it has the speed to cover up everything I'm doing, the power, so to speak. Do you think we'll go on a great run now? It's hard to say. I'm not sure whether James will be part of the team. I'm not sure, again, what's his name? Chilwell will be starting games soon. James, I don't want us to rush him back. As long as we haven't signed any right back, it'd be a risk to even consider rushing him back from now. Bobby, what do you think? Do you think we'll go on a good run, given that we have a lot of players back, plus the new guys? Can you guys still hear me? If you can hear me, I'm still using the iPad right now. I will go back to the main microphone in a bit, so don't worry. Bobby, what do you think? Do you think we'll go on a good run now that we have James? But I'm sure he's not going to start the next game.
Do you know what? I don't want to think. We know what we've got to do. And the only way we're working towards being able to do that, the only way we can do that is with a drastic personnel change. Once the personnel has changed, it then becomes a matter of how quickly and efficiently the coaching team can work with them. Mm-hmm. If everything gels, the coaching team and the personnel change, then we have to pursue getting a run together. I've noticed that I've seen some clips of Reece James training and Ben Chilwell. How far away they are, I don't know. And also, Wesley Fofana. So the injuries are beginning to come back, but I don't want us to take that for granted and then use them in ways that will just send them back to injuries again. We haven't had a full season of Ben Chilwell. Neither have we, in fact, had a full season of Reece James. That has to change. Mm-hmm. So the strength in depth issue must be addressed. It's possible. Why not? Top 4 is still possible, but we've got to put a hell of a run together. We've got to put a Premier League winning type run together. The type of run that we did back when we last won the Premier League. Was it 20?
That was under Antonio Conte, right?
Yeah, that kind of thing. That's what we got to do. It is what it is. It's doable, but I don't know. I don't even want to think about it. We just have to take it one game at a time, starting with Liverpool. And are you confident for Liverpool? I'm not. I saw them yesterday. The referee helping them as usual with all the fouls they were committing. Not a single card brandished to them in the first half. Mm-hmm. And you can imagine what it will be like at Anfield. The media and the officials, their usual anti-Chelsea-ness. And you have to be on your A game plus to be able to get anything out of that, because everything is against you. You're not just playing Liverpool, the team. You're playing the officials and you're playing the fans. So it's a tough one. But if we're going to have any hope of a run or coming back, we have to go to Anfield and win, for sure.
No, I'm trying to come in with the main camera. Can you hear me, Bobby?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Okay, my camera will come back on. Yeah.
Roger.
Oh, go ahead. You can speak with him. Go ahead.
If he's mic'd up, I don't know if he's mic'd up.
Hey, good afternoon, chaps.
Hey, Roger.
But Bobby, I have to say something. I'm really getting sick and tired of you being logical and cerebral here. It's getting old, Bobby. It's getting
Did you
really
hear what I
old.
said about Gallagher? What
Yeah,
do you think
no,
about that?
I don't know. Are you looking at my notes or what? No, I'm serious. It's
Oh, you said the same thing. You were going to say the same thing.
no
The thing,
serious. I couldn't put it better. I believe after watching our last game, my thought was, why couldn't he be converted into a number 6? He has all the physical attributes.
yeah,
And he
physical,
has an
technical.
engine. He
Yeah.
is very Kante-esque in that regard. I'm not
Yeah.
putting him in the same category, but I was thinking, I'm listening to you today, and I'm like, exactly my thoughts, ditto. I'm thinking ditto, ditto, ditto. I'm like, wow. I'm like, Bobby, go away.
Well,
No, but
that's
But the
seriously,
question
it's
I
logical,
asked
isn't it?
Bobby, and I want you to get into that. Do we have the luxury to really do that, given where we're at?
yes,
For instance,
yes, we do.
yeah,
Yes, I agree. Listen, Coach, I understand where you're coming from, but and you have to understand one thing. Gallagher played well. Yes, not exactly against a Champions League winning side. No disrespect to Palace, but he did it while doing that so well while playing alongside J5. That speaks. Actually, J5 had quite a good game. When I watched that game the second time, he actually made some pivotal tackles, tracking back. Actually, J5
yeah.
had
I think
one of his.
the good relationship you have with Bobby is not going to last.
No,
I'm not.
He had one of his
I'm not
better games.
Yeah, it's one of his better games in a Chelsea shirt. But I thought, Gallagher was what I thought he had the best game as a Chelsea player. I really did. I think he suits that role. Listen, Obi Mikel was a number 8 basically, and he turned out to be one of the best number 6s ever in Chelsea.
Yeah, it was a number 10.
Yeah,
Here's the thing: is it possible? It is very possible because he's still young. But you have to do it and do it consistently. You don't want a situation whereby the established players in that particular position, if they come back, then you'd have to play him in another position. You end up confusing him. That's what I'm saying. Do we have the luxury? No, because we can't. Yeah, but go ahead with what you're saying.
Well, see, Bobby's right about Kante. You can't bring Kante back, and first of all, he shouldn't play more than 70 minutes in a game.
Yeah.
Period. But he has to come back gradually and slowly, and only play in the big games this season. Only like top 6 and obviously Champions League if he's fit enough. It's simple as that.
You can then play him with Gallagher anyway.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's a sexy double pivot right there.
Yeah. Oh, there's definitely room for Gallagher. That midfield is in so much trouble.
Yes.
That, especially now without Zakaria.
Yeah,
Gallagher will just step
I'm so
in.
sad for him. I really am. I like Zakaria, and my heart goes out to him for getting another knock. It's
again, here's the thing: I don't think we'll keep him. It'd be difficult, except if it comes so cheap that we can't resist. We can't resist having him as part of the squad, because that notion has always been there, even before he signed, that he's injury prone, and he still joined in. We're seeing it. People are saying it firsthand that really this guy's injury prone. So it's difficult to say what will happen. It has to be on a cut price before we say, okay, let's take it from
32 million pounds, I believe it is, or is it euros? I forget. I don't see why we just don't go to the actual currency of golf balls right now. It's ridiculous. I'm hearing it in euros, dollars, pounds, whatever. But it's 32, whatever the currency is. That is, by today's standards, I mean, that's like 2 bars of chocolate and a packet of crisps. It's seriously, it's a joke. I mean, I remember when we got Kante for 30 million, I was like, that's obscene money. Now you can't even get a backup for that. It's like the world's gone crazy. It's monopoly money. But yeah, listen, here's the deal with Zakaria. Once he comes back from his injury, if he can remain and play for the entire season without getting further hurt, then there's a possibility we may sign him. We may not even, who knows? But from what I've seen of him thus far, I think he's good enough to play for Chelsea in a rotational squad. I really do.
No, I'm not doubting that, really.
That's my opinion. And as for Trossard, I totally agree. The one person I want Chelsea to get is Trossard. Simple as that. I want. Listen,
For sure.
Trossard is. What is Trossard's age though? Is he like 26 or 28, something like that?
No. It should be. Let me see. I think he's older than that.
Is he really older? Yeah. See, that's the one thing. Last time I looked at his age, I was thinking he doesn't fit Chelsea's profile because of the age.
Glenn, if you're in the chat, can you help us? What's Trossard's age again? How did I forget?
But anyway, so I do want Trossard, even if he only plays for Chelsea for 3 years. He looks the finished article, doesn't he?
And plus, he's played under Thomas Tuchel and make the whole process easier for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very technical player. His first touch is lovely. He's good crosser. He's clinical. I haven't seen what
he's 28. Gosh.
Yeah, he's 28.
Really? Yeah. I remember he's 26 to 28. And that's the only downside I remember looking at his profile was his age. If he was 24, 25...
28, it's not bad. We can get 3 good years out of him.
Yeah, this sounds so discriminatory.
No. Given his quality. Quality, I have to be honest.
Listen, he could play to 34 at this level. Who knows? He may only play another year. We don't know. But yeah, I mean,
in that aspect, I think you could say, and he's 31. Not a player that you would say his pace defines who he is as a player. No, it's not about his pace. No, he's an intelligent player, really. Yeah. But go ahead with what you're saying.
Yeah, I like him, and I want to say that the one player that has impressed me this year that we've only seen for 58 minutes is João Felix. He impressed me like no other player has played. Now, listen, is 58 minutes a big enough sample size? Of course not. You'd have to be a cretin to say otherwise. But he looked the best player on the pitch against Fulham by far. I mean, can when he returns from his suspension, can he play at this level for every minute? Possibly. And if so, I think he's a keeper. He is basically better than anyone we have in that position. Period. So those are the things I wanted to say. But yes, Bobby Trossard, 100%. No, actually, that's 1,000%. I agree with you.
Trouble is, Dumfries that we're looking at is 26.
I'm not a big Dumfries fan.
No. Yeah, I don't think they will compete for. Trossard plays for the forward. Every time he's played deep, it was just more like a tactical approach again, a more attacking again, attack-minded approach that most people see as defensive. He's just starts deep, but again, everything he does is close to the final third.
Gentlemen, can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
It's no coincidence at all that we haven't seen a full season from Chilwell and Reece James the last 2 seasons, because those positions 30 years ago, yeah, they could play no problem, because that position they never passed the halfway line. But now these poor little rascals, they have to go up and down like yo-yos. I mean, that's the most demanding position in the football field, regardless of a back 4 or a back 5 or 3/3. As simple as that.
The modern fullbacks, even if it's not the wing backs, the modern fullbacks.
Look at Liverpool. You invariably look at Liverpool. You have the Scottish chap on the left. What's his name? Robinson. And then you have Trent Alexander. They're often banged up and what have you. It's because the amount of strain, the amount of mileage that they accumulate on their bodies, that's why they're more susceptible to muscle injury. Do you understand? Yeah. That's the reason why it's such a demanding position. We need depth at that position. Now we have it on the left-hand side with Cucurella and Hill, who's looking quite mature for an 18-year-old. But I think out of everything we should be talking about is that I actually don't even think midfield should be addressed before the right back. It's simple as that. It really is.
Yeah, just quickly, if you're watching, if you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for your patience. I had an issue with my main screen. Everything went blank. I had to go shut it off and turn it back on, but now it's working. So apologies, I have to scroll to the very bottom because quite a lot piled up while I was busy trying to sort out the situation. And kudos to Bobby. He's an experienced head and had to again carry on when I was struggling. and Roger was watching us laughing at us and had to join the moment we fixed the issue.
I wasn't laughing.
Yeah, no, I'm
Maybe
kidding,
I
but
was.
but
I'm joking.
But that's by the way, people. Much love. I appreciate all the contributions. Unfortunately, I cannot get them all. But I want to say big up to my bro CFCOJ. Nice to see you. Forget the camera. Your pics was nice. Okay, thank you so much. Now I'm blushing, but thank you. I appreciate that, bro. I'm just kidding. Much love to you, bro. I got to get on your panel again as soon as possible. But usually at that point, I'm still resting from, again, waking up 3 a.m. to host the Blue Morning Show. But it will happen. I promise you that. So right now, I'm going to go to the very bottom. Apologies. I'm Bobby here. Somebody saying hello to you. Again, Mitchy Boy Chelsea says big up a Smokey. Bobby, do you recognize who that is?
Yeah,
Mitchy,
big up
yeah.
Richie Boy. Yeah, I was.
Okay, I saw him. He was on,
He's on
Dan's
live
channel
last
yesterday.
Yeah. He's a diehard Chelsea.
Yeah, I gotta get him home. I gotta get him home now. I searched for him on
Yeah,
Twitter. Maybe I'm not
Mitchy.
sure his handle. Yeah, I'm not sure of his handle, so that's why I couldn't find him. I gotta get it on. I want him to join.
He'll give it to you.
Okay, I'll get it from Bobby. I want him to join the panelists here because he was on point and nothing negative, just on point. Again, I loved listening to him. A lot of answers for the Trossard question here. I don't know how to ship them to you. I'm obsessed with Felix. For me, I don't know if you're laughing at somebody for being. I'm obsessed from him because I know for him with him because I know what he can bring. He's underused. He was again underused at Atletico Madrid, given Diego Simeone's negative approach to football.
That's an understatement.
You could say he's an untapped talent, really, because we haven't seen everything he's capable of doing. But now Chelsea, he's unleashed. He's unleashed. Just come back from that red. And I think that's what the red card incident, that you could say it's a lesson just in time. Now he will know just to take that, but I wouldn't have started him, but that's an argument for another day. Big up Kachila, much respect to the panel. I will try to stay on topic. Yeah, that's important. That's really, really important. And I'm glad you're saying that. So let everybody in the chat hear that. If you keep it aligned with the current topic, then yeah, I will read your contribution most definitely. Buy Caicedo and loan Gallagher to Brighton. It sounds easy. Let's see what the club does. Chilwell and Reece James are both young. I agree. Again, Robert Modern fullback, a run to yeah, it's Roger, but I know probably a mistake. Modern fullbacks run too much and too hard. Yeah, that's the truth.
I've been called worse, coach.
Yeah, Caicedo is the one we need. Can agree more. I think Gakpo will come into game more against Chelsea. Okay, let's see that. I want to see that happen. I know you're a rival fan, but I like the way you present your cases here. So no insult to anybody. So enjoy yourself. Gallagher is nothing more than a marathon runner. Oh my goodness. I know you want to go to heaven. You have to be a bit fair. He doesn't have the profile that Potter wants. You think so? Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Again, we face Liverpool. Yeah, we are again, and I think you'd be surprised how well we play on that day, because there will always be space for us to exploit. Question is, are we going to take our chances when we get them? But I think
they keep a high line, coach.
Yeah,
yeah,
predictable. Always.
Always.
Club doesn't know how to play differently. It's
they never deviate. They never deviate.
No, they never. Yeah. Again, let's see what happens there. Two along with Nunes. I think Nunes probably Darwin Nunes. I think they're not sure. He's a dub for that game. But let's see what happens. Who would not subscribe for such a platform like this? It has to be the first action. Wow. Temi Loru, my brother, thank you so much for that delicious comment. I appreciate that. Bobby, you wanted to say something?
Saying Liverpool, they've got some of their injuries back, one of which is Diego Jota.
Oh, really?
So they're not as deplenished as we are at all.
The former Wolves guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually fear him. I fear him than any other attacker they have because he's unpredictable. I fear him than Salah because Salah, it's always cut back in from the right and shoot with his left.
Jota's amazing.
Yeah, but Jota, you can't predict him. He's good in the air, even though he's not the tallest. He can finish with the speed and he can find good passes to he can finish from outside the box. That's what makes him dangerous. Please, again, any updates in Chelsea, we'll get to that in a bit. Tunde, manager, brother, relax. relax. We're coming to that. Coach, did you see the noises that were on BBC Sports yesterday? I didn't. Probably Bobby will have an idea what went on. I'm not sure. I don't think Trossard is going to be a good addition to our squad. Let's see what happened. As we talk about acquiring our ninth forward, I assumed Modric was the right side player. As it turns out, we only have Ziyech in that position. So we still, again, we're still unbalanced. Is that where Trossard plays? Trossard can play on the right hand side. It can, but he usually starts again on the ground. But sometimes he starts deep. Sometimes he plays him in behind the striker. Sometimes he plays him as a striker. He's that versatile, and again loves playing. Again, you can say for Porter, if that makes any sense. I think those again are. Although I haven't seen that, it's safe to believe that Modric can also play on the right hand side. At Chilwell and Reasons back in training, we saw that again. Roger, big up to again. You're a good panelist. No, he's not.
Thank you, Mitchy boy. The check's in the mail.
He's not. He only likes to argue with me. If anything, Porter is about possession and counter press. We need players that fit that mold. And believe me, Trossard would do well on the ground. Porter Gallagher has the Gattuso-like engine and energy. Yep, that's the truth. Great for our Chelsea. Bobby, you're spot on Gallagher. Analysts, please check Ishmael Corner of Canada. Makalele-like player at Chelsea. 3 Liverpool. Okay, I'll do that. Liverpool 0. You think what? Again, hope you don't change that opinion next week. I hope so. Again, I love this platform. It's inclusive. Thank you. That's what we thrive to do. We try to, it's about everybody. It's not just about the panelists. Jota and Nunes back from injury. Nunes, I'm not sure. I think, what's his name? Klopp said something to the effect that he could be ready or so. I'm not sure. I hate throwing information at people when I'm not sure. Ziyech has no choice but to play against Liverpool. We will get Trossard due to Arsenal's interest. So that's what makes you happy. Hijack the happy Arsenal again. No, they should keep him. Big up Mitchell Boyd. Everybody saying hello to him. Trossard is not a team player. Wow. That's some, you could say, how do I phrase it? That's some accusation right there, but we'll move on. This one is for, again, according to Corriere dello Sport, McKinney has rejected the move to Premier League club Aston Villa as he is waiting for an offer from Chelsea, Tottenham, or Borussia Dortmund. Roger, do you know him well?
No.
The US international.
Oh, McKennie. Yeah. No, I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, he plays for Juventus.
I was thinking of a Scotsman. I'm thinking, I don't really watch the Scottish league, but sorry.
No. But if he's waiting for us, which means there must have been some measure of contact.
Possibly.
Contact with his camp, really.
Yeah, through an agent or third party, possibly. I'm sure. Listen, it's not Boehly anymore. It's primarily Vivell and Morgan Stanley. That was for you, Bobby. Winston Stanley, but I can't stop thinking about Morgan. Yeah,
you're at it now. I told you his name's really weird.
But listen, I think we have to critique and praise those chaps from now on. This is no longer Burley's
show.
Yeah, exactly. Or Ed Barley's. I think they're going to, even though they like the limelight. Listen, they're not camera shy. Don't be mistaken. But they're going to be on the marketing side.
I think the PR specialists.
Yes, they are. They're strategists. They know exactly what they're doing with regards to the salary. Listen, as I've said before, in 91-92 season, or 92-93 season, sorry, the NFL instituted what they call a salary cap. They are fully aware of what they're doing.
If you don't mind, let's leave that again. Financial aspect for the last, because we have quite a lot lined up. If you don't mind.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just don't know what they're doing.
You're fine. I understand.
They really do, and I think Vivell and Winstanley, these people, they're putting out feelers. And I think they have, from what I can tell from certain interviews or certain journalists, that they have strategy with Potter, and they're identifying certain players that they would like. And I
But
think
I don't.
going
I really
forward,
don't think McKinney is the one. It should be one of them, except if it is a business
not?
strategy, really, in terms of again,
How old is
broadening.
he?
You could say broadening. You could say our support base in the U.S. Because
Yeah.
where does he fit? He's again, if anything, the most box-to-box midfielder. Sometimes he plays on the right-hand side from the wing-back position just because of his ability to bump forward. Do I don't think he's Chelsea quality, really. I want to get the thoughts of those in the chat, but go ahead.
No, I mean, I haven't seen enough of him other than the World Cup. You know, I don't know. You know, what is Chelsea quality right now? Basically, I mean, no, I'm being serious. Because listen, if you
No,
look
but
at
it's funny.
no, but if you
But
look at our roster or squad per se, there's probably, I'd say, 5 to 7 players that don't belong there. Maybe more. You know, you need depth, rotation. You know, but I get it. I get it. No, I personally wouldn't get him. I wouldn't want him, but you never know. And he's young, and don't forget, you're looking at upside. You're looking at potential. You know, just like a draft pick, you don't draft the person based on what they've done in college. You're looking at what they are perceived to be the ceiling level, and I think that's where most of the coaches and the strategists they look at what that person's done thus far up to their age or their career, and what you know, where will they be in X amount of years? And I think that's the skill in what a successful team does.
Yeah, Bobby, you want to take this one so that I can scroll to the very bottom because we'll switch to McKinney right now. It reads, is Caicedo an upgrade to Bissouma? On Bissouma, I would say yes, he's a better player than Bissouma. We let him go to let him go to Spurs without the fight, which proved to be again the right thing. Will we have the same problem with Caicedo? I don't know if you understand the question.
The fact that it seems since Basuma has gone to Spurs, he seems to have plummeted in his performances.
He hasn't. Yeah.
There could be reasons for that. I hear he had injuries and so on. And to be quite frank, I don't care. You know what he's doing there. The less he's doing, the better. But no, I don't see that with Caicedo for the simple reason that he's worked extensively with Potter before. You know, he's not new to him, so he will know how to use him. And if he's fit, I see no reason why his performances won't even be better because he's surrounded by better players. So
that's a good point.
I mean the potential of this Chelsea squad. I mean, no wonder they're all coming for us and they're dropping as many negative things as they can at the club. Because let me tell you, if they get the rest of these signings in, this is going to be one hell of a squad to reckon with. And if Potter is anything near the manager we hope he will be, then everything that the Shakhtar Donetsk director said will definitely come to pass. It will, because you know you can't mess with this. I mean, this is the business. It really is. I mean, this is top A grade. If I may,
Potter spoke to him. Potter spoke to Mudryk 2 or 3 days before, and he outlined the project.
Well, this is what the owners wanted, isn't it? That's what they kind of wanted of Thomas Tuchel, and he shied away from that sort of thing. But, you know, that's past, fine. Potter spoke to him, and he must have told him something sensible and attractive. And, you know, it's very interesting, Mudryk, because people were banging on about, Chelsea's offered him all this money, but he's on less money than people like Mount, Loftus-Cheek, certainly Callum Hudson-Odoi, although Callum had he's one of the lower earners. And what I really, really like about the new ownership, you know, upon all the criticism, they spent all this money, which is not unusual because you yourself, Roger, said that, look, back in the day, you spent 30 million and it was eye-watering.
Oh, I
These
couldn't
days,
believe it.
yeah, these days inflation is so bad that the 30 million then is the 70 million now.
It's
You know
not
what I'm saying?
sustainable, though, chaps.
Sorry?
It's not sustainable. It can't.
Well, whatever, it exists at the moment. So
Yeah,
they're not really doing anything worse or more than what Roman had to do to rebuild Chelsea
that's
as
true.
a squad. And
All
the
right.
best thing they're doing, sorry, coach, is that their wage structure is incentive based, is bonus based, performance based, which means you start at a basic salary, and anything you do up and beyond, maybe if in a season you play, for example, just an example, 15 games, you might get another 20 grand on top. You win the FA Cup, another 5 grand on top. Your weekly wage. You win the Champions League, another 50 grand on. So it's incentivizing them to keep performing. You have XYZ appearances, you get this amount.
It negates complacency.
Exactly. And I think, dare I say it, that might be the sticking point with Mason Mount's contract, because will he want to do that? Because nobody's going to be given flat rate 300 grand a week anymore. It's not happening. And I've seen you want to talk about McKenna, so sharp.
Yeah. All right. Let me get again what we have what we have in the chat. And then meet you, Chelsea boy. I'm looking for you on Twitter. I just can't now find you, and I don't know why. Chelsea will bounce back on a very good day.
I can't find him on Twitter either.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Chelsea will bounce back on a very good day with the complete team. Chelsea will overcome Liverpool. And yeah, I get what your phone is trying, or your device tried to help you spell bounce. But that's, by the way, again, it's Chelsea turning to Brighton. Do we buy all Brighton players? Yeah, it sounds like that. As long as we do well, and as long as we don't ruin the relationship we have with them. I think Trossard, nothing. I think nothing bad there, because he'll probably get to leave on a free, or he wants to leave already. But that's by the way. So it depends on this. I don't know their stance on Caicedo, but we'll get there. Turns out I no longer need to listen to local radio channels here. When does this show start? It's a daily show. Temi Lolua, thank you for asking that question. It starts which is the same thing as Niger. It starts 11 a.m. UK time, which is still, again, the same as, because it's GMT, I think it's still, is it? Yeah, I think it's still 11 a.m. Niger time, sometimes 12, it depends if we don't have any issues. But thank you for saying that. Trossard would give us more headache than Kai, the way he loses the ball in the final third. Wow, I never paid attention to that. Again, that's been the list of my concern. I just been paying attention to the good stuff he did. His performance against, was it Liverpool or Manchester United? No, the subsequent games, not just once. What's the latest again on Caicedo's transfer? We're preparing a bid. We'll get to that in a bit. Gallagher is quite versatile to play along with. He is also he's also filled with so much energy. This guy plays with so much passion. I just want the manager to keep coaching him. I don't want us to just value his energy. It's not a marathon. It's not a race. Really, it's not a road running show or something like that. Make sure you coach him. Yeah, he has the talent, but help him become better, and not just say, okay, he runs, we need him to press and all that. I have one that's happened again that broke my heart, really, but I don't want to get into that. Trossard already showed interest in Chelsea early in the season. Only if Chelsea don't need him, he will consider other offers. Forget about Arsenal's interest. Wow, that's serious. Caicedo is better than Bissouma. Caicedo has more ball recovery and 50-50 tackles in all the Premier League. Wow. Thank you for bringing it. I like such statistics because he helps us confirm what we're thinking. His numbers are by far better than any of the midfielders we have, and it's just 21. So yeah, he's a good player. McKinney is a good shout. Seems a very underrated player. Why not? Like I said, if he's waiting for us, which means again he must the Chelsea board, I reckon, may have had some contact with his camp. So let's see what happens. And if they consider signing him, then which means it's good enough. Maybe I haven't paid attention to where he played to say I don't think it's Chelsea quality. But again, I'm all for what the club wants as long as we do well. Again, Caicedo has like 88% pass accuracy rate, and a lot of that is under pressure. It's not like it's like I usually say, him opting for safer option, and that counts too. But I know he's a fine player overall. If Caicedo was French, it costs 100 million. Let's not go there. It will lead to something we really don't want to talk about. Nietzsche boy, again, I'm really trying to reach you, but I don't know how. Chelsea, Hova, and Albion, maybe that's another way to say it. Again, Caicedo is good and better than Bissouma. The problem is Enzo's interest is still on FFP watching us. That's the least of my concerns, really. These guys have spent billions to buy the club, and I think they have a capable hands working on doing the calculations to ensure we don't get into trouble. I am not seeing what the club has done to address the balance of the squad in this window. If anything, we seem to be reinforcing it by doubling up on positions and not addressing long-standing issues. Again, you can say we're just halfway through the window. I think anything can still happen, but I get your concerns, really. If Saudis buy Manchester United, and I'm hearing that Rack Life is also interested. If they buy Manchester United and Liverpool, we will have more competition for Enzo and Caicedo in the summer. That's why Chelsea are moving now. That sounds like, again, it makes sense. Modric was on less than 7K per week. Why would he not jump on 97? And again, he didn't just jump on it. He has representatives who will tell him, don't do that. But there are other options that, again, like Bobby explained, win trophies, and you could get 20 grand on top of that, which is you could say those sort of clauses can push a player to do better and not just relent. So you want it, you earn it. And I think it's better than just putting player on a high wage. They know it's there no matter what happens. They can relent. They can just start faltering and not care. You could argue that's why we had issues with the Deadwood we had at our club at some point. Some of them don't care. They're not even, again, not pushing to leave the club. Like Drinkwater probably turned his water to wine and was taking his time to take a sip every day and enjoy it. He gets paid no matter what happens. Yeah, but that's, by the way, again, all club wages structures are incentive-based, nothing spectacular to Chelsea. But again, I think we've enhanced that even more. Again, Makina of the US Juventus is a good player, but thoroughly have a look at, again, Musa of the same USA in relation to the Chelsea rebuild project. And Musa is Miro of Kante. Musa, then he played, but he was on the flanks, not centrally for the US. And I think that was he's still 19 or so. How old is he? But let's see. I'll take a look at them and see what, again, researching and watching very more. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this Enzo and Caicedo acquisition. Who do we need the most? I think we need Caicedo the most. No, I'm not really sure. But if you added any, again, a central attacking midfielder that's known, I'll say that's what we need the most, really. But that's, by the way, I don't think it makes sense going up for both. No, it doesn't, but I don't know. I think some Deadwood players will be sold, definitely. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. We have a lot lined up to talk about. We move on from, again, McKinney. And again, as much as I enjoyed reading your contributions in the chat, yeah, if I continue doing it because I'm enjoying it, that's all we do for the day. If you're watching, if you haven't, take a second and to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. And if you're watching, even if you're not contributing in the chat, please, you can also, just drop a like on the stream to help us reach more people. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much for all the support. Just give me 1 second. I need to do something here quickly. And why is it not making a move? But maybe when another panelist is speaking, I'll do that. So we've talked about this one. I might as well just close it. And this says Conor Gallagher has no desire to leave Chelsea while he is still being selected with Graham Potter also against letting him leave, as he is concerned about the escalating injury problem within his squad. Other than that, I think I'd say keep him. He's shown or just give him the opportunity. And I think the whole thing comes down to if it's guaranteed a game time, I think he'll stay. Roger, I want you to start on that one.
I hope that's his desire. I really do. And I have a feeling that Potter wants him also. Listen, there's enough film on him to go and observe from a coaching perspective. So he's raw. Let's be honest. He's not the finished, polished article. He's young. He played very well for Palace last year. I think he stays. I'm interested to see.
And he played mainly on the flanks for them.
Yeah, I'm interested. So he can do. He's quite versatile in that regard. He's basically a Mount clone for all intents and purposes. But I'm interested to see what Potter does against Liverpool. Does he utilize him in the same, formation? Does he even start him first of all? And if so, where does he place him? Or if he comes on as a sub, does he come on and replace Kova or J5 or whomever? That'll be interesting. If he does indeed start him in the number 6 position, let's say that they put out the same squad that they did against Palace, pretty close to it, then this bodes well for him. If not, I'll be a bit disappointed. But I understand if he wants Kova. I'm a bit disappointed with Kova lately. He hasn't been the same player since his return from the World Cup. I rate him highly. He's been an amazing servant for Chelsea since the loan spell from Madrid. But Bobby's right. He may leave this summer. There's a strong possibility. But I think Potter does value Gallagher. The question is, to what depth does he? Does he see him in the long-term plan? I think so, because of his youth and because of his industry. And he falls into the same category / risk as Mount does. Does he get coached up or does he just get burnt out? This is the question. I know
I don't know when you are aligned with my argument.
Yeah, no. And it's valid, coach.
I'm happy.
Occasionally you come up with a nugget. Occasionally. You're a keeper, coach.
Here's the thing. I think you made a very valid point. I like him. I think it is the potential is there. I know I understand the argument about his lack of that he's not the most technically gifted player. But again, the little he can do mixed with his industry can take a team a long way.
Did he not look like Kova?
He looked like he even did well better than Kova.
He progressed the ball exactly like Kova.
Which means he has it in him. But my question, do we have the luxury to keep? Again, I think we do, since we're writing up this. If really we're writing up this season, but how much we're spending this window and how quickly we're spending it doesn't look like the owners are willing to write off this window. They're probably saying we're going to push with the best we can. And then if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Which means still we don't have the luxury to give Connor the time or to mold him into a deep line midfielder that he isn't really. And he's actually playing in at 8 in that game against Wolves, where I fell in love with that 4-2-3-1 formation. He played again not centrally, and what I say he played on the flanks, and he was excellent on the day. But go ahead with what you were saying.
The one thing I do like about him is he's far more clinical than Kova, by far. I mean,
he has an eye for goals.
This is what I don't understand about Kova. When you look at Kovacic, he's such a technical, and listen, he comes from a country that produces fine players, but I just don't understand why he hasn't been clinical throughout his career. He's
I don't know, but I take other aspects of his game anytime, any day. Ditto.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, it's quite baffling as to why Kovacic is the player he is, but he hasn't been able to score more goals. That's my only question. Other than that, he's an amazing player. Something that I love watching him play. He's technically sound. He's just everything. He's a tackling machine. He does very well, but yes, he lacks speed. He's never been blessed with speed, but you know what? He reads the game well, that he puts himself in a position that he doesn't really require speed in that regard. However, he does need to be more clinical. And this chap on your screen, Gallagher, definitely. What did he score at Palace? He scored 7 or 8 goals that year, didn't he? And
but he played a lot.
No, and so does Kovacic historically. But he scores a lot more goals than Kovacic. And
let's see what Bobby has to say. Go ahead,
Coach. He has potential. He's so young. His ceiling could be quite high.
Yeah, but my concern is please coach him. Don't just play him because he's running. Coach him to become better.
Checkmate, coach. Checkmate.
Yeah, again, that's by the way, again, Coachella, your audio is not clear. What's going on? How does it sound now?
It's static, coach. It's a lot of static.
How does it sound now?
Same. A lot of static.
So where's that coming from? Okay, when you start speaking, I think I'll try something else. Let's see what happens. Yeah, again, what do we have? Thank you so much for that, Chama. And I've seen your private message too. I'll try and find a solution. Audio problem. Yeah, that's serious. Everybody's saying that. I'm not sure something.
Yeah.
I think it has to be. Is it? I have a lot of wireless stuff here, so something is interfering probably. But let's again. Richard advanced. It's a machine, but okay. Thank you for saying hi to him. Connor is not a ball position based player. He will succeed in a team that plays on kick and follow, or you can say more directly. But you have to put it that way anyway. Bobby, your thoughts on the Connor situation? Let me try and sort out the situation with my microphone.
You there, Bobby?
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's perfectly clear. I've always liked Connor's attitude. I've always liked his endeavor. I've always liked his finishing. It's just there was always a question for me about his technicality, and in fact, using the word technicality.
Are you talking about his first touch? Are you talking about his first touch?
Yeah, first touch, a bit of dribbling. He's not the best at that.
No,
but he doesn't need to be if you play him correctly. He's just one of those players that.
Hold on, sorry, Bobby. Sorry, I will mute my mic, then ask them how it sounds. Let me show it's from my end.
Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it sounds a lot better with you muted. That's for sure. And I mean, it came out wrong, but
bada bing, bada boom.
The interference has gone. Even that came out wrong as well. Anyway, back to Connor.
You're on fire, El Fuego, baby.
Before I dig a deeper hole. Anyway, look, Connor.
Stop digging.
Connor, right? He's a very, very functional player.
Yeah.
The good thing about him is that Chelsea's in his heart. He is a Chelsea boy.
Yeah.
Trained, born, bred, raised, family, everything. And whether anybody likes it or not, it helps. It
makes a difference.
It does. The whole attitude thing. And to me, someone like Conor Gallagher actually stands a better chance of any kind of future Chelsea captaincy than probably Mason Mount. Dare I even start to say this?
Really? Do you think so?
Well, it's because he's more of a captain type. Do you ever see Mason trying to carry the team when we're in trouble? Do you ever see him vocal? Do you ever see him urging people? Not really. Doesn't mean to say he doesn't fight. He fights.
Sure. Oh yeah, they've both got moxie, as they say in America. Definitely.
Yeah.
My only concern is that Connor can be a bit too cynical. I'm scared. I thought, by the way, his yellow card was rubbish. He basically, if you look at the replay, he's actually trying to avoid the leg tang. The tangling of legs. I just think that I'm worried that maybe take a year or so that he will. I'm worried that he'll lose his head because he does seem a bit feisty. He's hot-headed, but that's a good thing. You just need to channel that energy. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. Misplaced tackles. Emotional tackles that will come with time.
But he has that passion, and you know what? I see so many players that are lacking passion, and it's like, honestly, listen. If I was blessed with talent and physicality and be able to be a professional footballer, I could imagine, or any sport actually, because I love golf. I couldn't imagine being a professional athlete and not having that passion, you know. And I see that time and time again. Not with him though, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, crikey, if we could have been captained by Dennis Wise, who after John Terry, you know, is up there in terms of our captains with big honors, you know, winning trophies and things, then, you know, Conor Gallagher's child's play, you know, compared to him. Now, I'm not saying imitate all of Dennis Wise's temperament, but you couldn't, but you couldn't take away the fight. And Conor certainly has the fight and the desire. Look, in my team, I will put him at the base of midfield every time. He's shown me in that Crystal Palace game that he's evolved and he can do it. I think the red card against Leicester was a turning point for him. That hurt him. He felt he let the team down. If you see the way he went down the tunnel, his family was there. It was a very, very low point for him. And I don't see it ever happening again.
I hope so.
I don't think so. I think it hurt him enough. He grew from that moment. Sometimes your lowest point is your highest point, if you know what I mean.
No, indeed. And listen, look at his age. Think about it. He's not 29, 30 and making these mistakes. He's in his early 20s. What is he, 22? I mean, so he is. He's a bloody fetus. You know, I remember when I was that age, let me tell you, I was clueless.
I want to give him that chance. And, you know, this talk of, oh, what if this person comes back? What if this? Do you know, if Conor performs, especially against Liverpool, it's a matter of them displacing him than the other way around.
Yeah.
You know, this is how players win a place and keep a place. It's
but
like
do you think he starts? Do you think he starts versus Liverpool?
Oh, definitely. What else do you expect us to do? He has to.
Well,
if he plays,
I'm playing devil's advocate. I agree with you, by the way. I'm just scared that Potter will start Kova and Jorginho.
And Jorginho. This is the thing, isn't it?
This is my
fear
concern.
and reverting to type. And I think that would be the
how does it sound now?
Oh, horrible. Go back. No, I'm just kidding. We could have got away with it.
What you were saying before we move on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say, you know, starting Kova and Jorginho is the stupidest thing he could do. You know, changing a functional and effective midfield. At least when yesterday, I know Liverpool and Crystal Palace are definitely two different kettles of fish, but never
their
saw
midfield is hurting. They're aging, and they don't have. Conor would eat them for breakfast.
Exactly. You never saw, especially in the Palace game, we weren't losing the midfield so badly as we were against Fulham and Nottingham Forest. I don't even want to remember that. You know, it was horrible. And all that, a lot of it happened once Zakaryan came off. And even when he was on, he was almost like a lone midfielder.
Can I just say something, though? I have one thing about Conor. If you notice, his two best games in the Chelsea shirt have been against Palace.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's my only worry. You know, I wish we played Palace every week.
Yeah. Let me catch up with this in the chat. And again, I'm not calling for him to be part of the team. Again, if he starts again, please do let me know, Roger. You don't have to go through the private chat so that I can stop immediately. It can be irritating. I've been there myself.
Sorry.
Yeah, for those that are listening, no, you're fine, brother. The point is, again, we're not calling for Gallagher to become, again, stay at the squad and then be the guy that's carrying the team. We need him. He can be part of the squad. And Limper said, it baffles me how you guys are romancing competence. Ask yourself. Ask yourself, will Conor play in the City team or Liverpool team or Real Madrid, etc.? Those are the team we challenge. We're not saying we're not saying he should be the main guy. I think Klopp would take him. He's a type of player, given how he can run and all that. But we're not saying it should be him day in, day out. No, we can keep him. He can be part of the squad if he's willing to stay, and then you can mature into something better. And here's again the beautiful game. Big up, brother. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. He says, I like what Bobby is cooking, but I'm not sure about his head chef.
And we're back.
Yeah. We're back to where we are. And big up, bro. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show today. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. Connor, again, for now, it's a meetable player. Again, the same way RLC. If that's how you see it, yeah, I get it. RLC, I really do want him to leave. Maybe Brendan Rodgers will give him that opportunity because he knows him from his academy days, coached him, and probably will go a good player for them. We need a player like Kante. I think he'll be back very soon. Let's see what happens. Again, we'll move on to the next topic. Connor for now is a meetable. Okay, yeah, I've read that. I think the other screen isn't loading quick. Let's look at what else we have here lined up. We've talked about this is Conor Gallagher. We've talked about that topic. This is Modric, Reece James, and Chilwell. All of them trained this morning. James, I don't want us to rush him back, really. As much as I'm happy that he's back, I want him to take his time to recover fully. Chilwell, maybe he should be ready by now because I think he started. When did he got back to training? I don't remember. When did he get back to training? I don't remember. But Roger, your thoughts? We shouldn't rush James back. Just give him time to recover fully.
100,000 billion%. However, I like Chalobah playing there defensively, but going forward, Chalobah is Bambi on ice. He's not a natural crosser of the ball. This is what we're missing. So I need to ask everyone, who on our roster in our squad would be an apt replacement for... I know we have Aspie, but he can't play a full 90 minutes. You know, his legs have gone, bless him. So is there anyone, do you think, that can actually, morph into that position that could be defensively somewhat sound? And
I think Ruben was on the bench on Saturday. And if Ruben is as fit as I believe he is, I think it's likely he will start at the right back position.
Really?
Right one back specifically.
Yeah, and he does well in that position. He can play there. And I have a feeling that if he does, then we may see Reece James coming off the bench because Reece James has been in full. He's been in full training today.
Oh, has he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but even at that, okay, but go ahead, Bobby. I get your point. I think he started training for a while, but I'm saying if there's any slightest, if we have any measure of doubt that he's not fully.
Yeah, I mean, if there is a
just go ahead, Bobby.
If his fitness is a doubt, then you don't risk him. But if he is coming back to fitness and there's an opportunity to play him off the bench, you play him. He has to play sometime. I mean, he's not at Chelsea to be wrapped up in cotton wool. He will be rotated, but he still has to play games. He's a footballer. You know what I'm saying? He has to play games. So if we can have that luxury scenario, which we haven't had for a very long time, have Ruben play right wing back instead of he's certainly going to be better at it than having Aspie. I think that's an excellent solution, and it would certainly help the midfield because Ruben naturally he floats into midfield, and that's how we tend to use our wing backs anyway as attackers or extra midfielders. So that's why Ruben is so good at it because he's a natural in that sort of position. It's just that doing that position, you need to have your defensive responsibility. And if both, for example, he and James could share it, hypothetically, he plays one half and James plays the other, that helps them returning back to fitness and it helps the position. So, yeah, that seems logical to me. Unless they're both not ready to play, then we've got to go back to Aspie. Aspie's better than nothing, isn't it? Yeah. At least with Aspie, you can hope for a defensive solidity, but we'll lose out a lot going forward.
I think that's the truth. Gallagher can run more than Usain Bolt for all I care. He would not be in Chelsea team for long. Again, he needs to be sold if that's how you see it. But again, I get your argument, but it all comes down to what the club wants to do. And again, right now, I don't think the club will even consider it, except if we sign players in that area. Plus, the truth remains he counts for homegrown quota, which saves us one more space to accommodate a foreign player, if that makes sense. What's wrong with Connor? Nothing is wrong with him. Ruben Sterling, again, Chadwick Evans. I think we should go in for Pedro Porro from Sporting Lisbon. We discussed that before as to why it's a risk, and I think the club probably must have heard that too. We're not too serious about him. We're not too keen about getting him. Ruben again, left wing of Liverpool. It's going to be suicide or horror show. Let's see what happens. Ruben is so good at it. I think he implemented it very well, but defensively we will lack. But attacking wise, I think he enjoys that role. Actually, if you're watching, if you haven't taken a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, we'll have 141 likes. We can do better than that. Even if you're watching and you cannot participate in the chat, again, you can drop a like on the stream to help us reach more people. We need a new recruit. I did notice that Derek Abu was given a place from the academy. Okay. Gallagher, again, have you noticed his humility to instructions transformed in energetic delivery on the pitch? And that's so important to the manager. Am I right, Roger? That's very important to the manager. The ability again to transform into energetic delivery on the pitch again is very important to the manager. Again, if you deliver, that's fine. They don't care what all that aspect comes as secondary. I think the head coach should go. A lot of people think so. Gallagher is not that guy, bro. Well, I'm not saying he's the guy. I'm saying again he has potential in him and can become better. You ever sit back and realize how spoiled we are sometimes? That's important to note that. I think that's the reason why, to us, every opportunity we get, or this again, once an academic player underperforms in one game, the argument would be to sell. But again, if you give him time, I'm not saying he should carry the team. If anybody's paying attention, we're not arguing that Gallagher should stay and become Eden Hazard or whoever you want to call Kevin De Bruyne. No, give him time. Gradually, he can become better, and we'll regret having him as part of the squad. What if we don't have him? What if we had sold him in the summer? What would we do? What would we do again now that we're ravaged by injury? Go ahead, Roger. You wanted to say something.
Put it in this perspective. He's basically 4 years away from reaching his prime. That's substantial. You know, when you think about it in those terms, he's got so much to learn. He's got so much to improve on. His ceiling is quite high based on his age. So if he's this good at 22, then he can definitely be a lot better when he reaches 26. This is my point. You know, don't base him on now, currently. Base him on his potential.
Yeah, that's a solid argument, and I like that. Again, people keep liking the stream. This one says Sevilla are interested in signing Marlon Sarr from Chelsea as long as he can cut short his loan spell at Monaco, which means all parties has to come. All parties involved again have to agree. Okay, you know what? Monaco, he's not getting enough game time there. We'd rather him go to Sevilla. But I think that player is a talent. I think we're too quick to let him go. He was scapegoated for the issues we're having then. Once it happens, they say again, it's always his fault. This is the one that makes me happy. He's a player I've always called for for the right back situation or right wing back position. I think it's good, and we'll give Reece James a run for his money on his day. There are again aspects of the game that each of them again is better than the other. But I think he will be a good signing. So Italian outlet La Repubblica claims Chelsea have made a fresh approach for Denzel Dumfries. Inter Milan are asking between 48.3 to 52.7 million pounds. But Chelsea are only prepared to pay 30.7 million. Roger, your thoughts on this one? This is a player I want, and I think he actually you can say for 48, I don't think he will be a bad acquisition. Your thoughts?
Well, forget about the money. The money's just monopoly money now, you know. So I understand that. He plays for the Netherlands, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a Dutch international.
Dutch, yeah, I remember him. Yeah. Listen, I haven't seen enough of him to really. He hasn't stuck out. He hasn't wowed me. But as I said, it's kind of remiss of me to be less positive because of the fact that guess what? I haven't seen enough of him play other than internationally. You know,
Mm.
so but he hasn't wowed me like he's wowed you. But listen,
Yes, here's the thing. It's not about a season. It's even before it was even before he joined Inter. I did a video with Taron Sajeva, my friend and brother, who now works for BBC, where he was arguing why we should sign him. At that point, he was actually arguing that he would do better than Reece James.
Really?
Yeah, that shows you how good he was even before he moved to Inter Milan. So it wasn't like I started following him, and it wasn't like I'm still under a spell of his performance at this World Cup. And at
What's
World
his
Cup,
age,
I think he
coach?
won. I think he's 26. He won a man of the match at the World Cup. That's to show you. I think he's a fine player overall. But I want to get the thoughts of those in the chat. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Okay, so he's approaching his peak, basically his prime, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, listen. I don't want to talk out of my posterior, because I don't know enough about him, as you would put it, right?
Okay,
but
that's another way to put it. Okay, I'm learning.
What I did see of him, he looked solid, but I just don't. He didn't wow me. Does that make sense? But
I understand. He's a player you've paid attention to. But
yeah, exactly.
Ever since we started talking about the right back position, if you ever listen to me, he's always the one I'm mentioning.
No, I know.
Go ahead.
It's duly noted. I do want I would have wanted the chap that plays for Celtic. I forgot his name. He's East European.
What's his name again?
I forgot his name.
The Croatian international.
Yes.
But they don't want to sell. They made it clear they're not ready to let him go.
No, I know. That's who I really liked. I watched him a few times. I kind of like him.
That's a Juranovic.
Yeah, something like that. I forget his name. His European name. I liked him. That's the one person that I kind of liked, based on his age also. But I don't know. We need to address this more than any other position, gentlemen. We do. It's simple as that. This should be,
and I think he's the man, really.
It would be remiss of us not to. It would be negligible of us to do so. We need to address it ASAP.
Yeah, we have to, but I don't want Poro, or how do you pronounce it? Since it's double R, given the reasons we've discussed here. Yeah.
If those are indeed true, I don't know the validity of the speculation of that triangle, but if it, first of all, they have to inquire with João Felix and see if indeed those rumors are valid, and if they're not, then maybe go for Poro, or whomever, but they've got to do their homework before they approach any player, and that's the other thing in the NFL. When you're acquiring a player, especially drafting, they do a background check, they interview them, they want to see what characters they are, and this is important. I hope that the American owners instill into this new management that we're looking for good people on and off the field, whether they're motivated.
We don't have to be dealing. Yeah, we don't have to be dealing with the PR nightmares players create all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you could argue you could argue that's the reason why we've shied away with, again, a lot of people who've been linked with this. It's, for instance, Dembele, what's his name, the other French international too, and all that. But I really don't want to get into the argument. Probably the reason why we didn't move for Bissouma. I think that's a solid argument on its own. Yeah. So let me catch up with what we have in the chat. I'll come back to the panel again. Yes, people, keep dropping the like on the stream. We're at 147 likes. We should hit the 200 as soon as possible. Thank you so much for all the support. I appreciate that. Ben Chihuahua and Reese back in training. Yep, again, Eyin Naya, Joseph, again, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that update. What about the lad from Southampton? Who exactly?
I'm not sure.
Who you're talking about Lavia? I think you're probably talking about Romeo Lavia, but we're not too serious about that. Hello, everyone. Kimso, I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for joining the show. Lateness is greatness, and I appreciate you finding time to join. Buy Frank Pong instead of Dumfries. I don't know Frank Pong that way or that much, but I have to check him. But let's see. Maybe the price is I'm guessing it's probably more expensive. But let's see what the club does. Okay, big up Bobby. Big up Richard. Somebody saying hi to Richard. If all these arguments about Gallagher's potential in the future is to be is to be considered. Then again, let him go on loan for 2 seasons and come back and show us what he's got. I think I like that argument too. And like Roger said, it just seems as if the only time you see him perform at the level where we also go, wow, it has always been against Crystal Palace. I don't know. So yeah,
well, we have enough data on him when he played for Palace last season, so we know what he's capable of. So he needs to not go out on loan. I think he's good enough to play.
Gallagher's had enough loans. We need to now start using him.
Yes,
and modifying him where we need him.
Yeah, I think again I agree with both arguments, but it all comes down to what the manager wants to do. Dumfries cannot cross. Okay, I didn't know that. Frimpong would be elite as a Rangers fan. I saw him in person. How good this guy was when he played against us for Celtic. Really? Okay, I'm not sure why the club aren't considering him. How old is Frimpong? We just need a backup. No, not backup. No. We need competition.
£5 in the swear jar.
We need competition. Be careful, bro. I'm gonna time you out for 10 minutes if you do it again. We don't need backup. We need competition, really. We just need. I nearly read it again.
No, seriously, we need a starting right back that can rotate. This
exactly.
Is
what and again, Reece will be pushed to do better because I believe we haven't seen the best of Reece James, actually.
Sure. In that position, more than any other on the pitch, that the right back and left back position, you need 2 starters for each one because of the physical demands that position requires. It's simple as that.
Yeah. Again, as much as I like Porro, I've looked at his numbers. His numbers saying that again great, but he could say he's one player that's enjoyable to watch. The way he plays, his style of play is very enjoyable.
The Benfica guy, right?
Sporting CP, I think. Porro.
Okay.
Pedro Porro. He's talking about Porro. He said Pedro or Dumfries. For Porro, for me, I think I wouldn't risk it. We've talked about this before. We don't know how truthful the love triangle story is. But it's a risk. It's not worth taking. He's not Messi. He's not Ronaldo. He's not.
Well, it's easy to confirm or deny, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Well, again, we're not pursuing. We're not pushing for him. And I've seen somebody in the chat say he's not going to come because Felix is here. Right? But let's move on from that because we'll be going in seconds and now there's no way to confirm whether the rumors are true. But we'll move on from that. To me, I'd take Dumfries. He's good too. You can say he would be probably more physical than the 2 players. Juranovic, that was the name I was looking for. Who is that? Is it Celtic right back or again right back here? And it's Croatian international, a good player, but they don't want to sell. Juranovic, that's the player in question. I doubt if Juranovic will like to come in as a backup. No, you're not. Again, it depends. Your selling point is a problem. You have to explain again what Chelsea will play too many games. You get to play, he gets to play. Or sometimes the game you play depends it depends on who we're playing against. So it's that simple. I mean, I'm not going to go into that. I know again. I see the beautiful game setting a trap for me. The next comment, I'm going to try to find Mitchell Boy Chelsea because I really want to get him on. I've heard him talk about Chelsea, and again, I was happy to listen to him. It's again Michi. Okay, Mitchell's 64. Oh, now I see why it's difficult. Mitchell's 64, but you used a different thing as your display name on Dan's channel. But that's by the way. Let me highlight this in case when I need it so that I can find it.
Really?
I told you he was setting a trap for me.
You're welcome.
And I'm not going to be the one to read it.
You owe me.
Yeah, and the word you use is a construct. The predominant construct of that sentence is the word you use, right?
Yeah. That's well done, sir. Well done. Well played indeed.
Oh my God, Grand Poster is out. Okay, let's see. It's gonna be a lot of stuff to get to. He will be talking about Walker Peters. Okay, again, I think he's talking about Walker Peters from Southampton. Oh, not Lavia. Okay, yeah.
Walker Peters. Yeah.
A good shout. He's proven it in the Premier League, but I don't trust that because we've been there before. It's no guarantee, really. I think everything comes down to demand of the manager, and the managers prefer that approach to the game and all that. Onana is better than Lavia, really. Again, he's 21, coach. Okay, thank you for that information. Frimpong, he's 21. He's only, again, he's also a really likable guy and would be great for the dressing room. I always like that. Oh, again, I thought we're talking about a backup here. No, we don't talk about backup.
Another £5.
Competition is the right word. I'm sorry. Yeah, thanks for realizing that, brother. I appreciate that. Agbo, how are you doing? Again, good day, everyone. Good day to you too. Just quickly, then for competition, I think Juranovic would have been, let's use would have been, because Celtic, they're not looking back. They don't want to sell him, and the player isn't pushing to leave either. Yeah, that's it. Again, Poro, Celtic right back. Is who? Where does Poro play? No,
Right
Celtic right back is Juranovic. Poro plays for Sporting CP. Report says Tuchel would be interested in the Sports Hub. Yeah, we will talk about that in a bit. It's an interesting one. Benjamin High, again, I need some updates from some players. Come back. Again, James is back. We're hearing, what's his name? Chilwell is back. Who else? I'm not sure who else is back. Loftus-Cheek has it. Yeah, he's back. He's training again. What do you think about Jeremy Frimpong? Is he a good right back? Leverkusen. He's the same player they've been talking about, right? Again, everybody likes him, so that probably shows he's good. But I need to do my research. I hate again picking information from Mike Wazoo and throwing it at you. It's not good. But that's, by the way, we move on. There are other topics we want to talk again before. Let me see. Hopefully, my wife decides to take the boys to school. Then that'll be good. Yeah, Didier Drogba is persuading Datro Fofana to join Galatasaray on loan. That's not a good sign because before Drogba does this, he probably have seen that maybe he won't be with us this window. But it doesn't make any sort of sense to let such talents go out on loan.
I want to say something. I was really surprised that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang came on for 30 minutes and not
the kid, right?
Yeah, I was really shocked about that. I was like, I would have, I just couldn't believe it, to be honest with you, because I don't see Pierre-Emerick as our future. I don't see him past this year. And I thought this would have been actually a great time for Fofana to come on. I really do. For David Fofana, I'm talking about, you know. I
understand, yeah.
I was shocked about that, to be honest with you.
So I'm not sure, but I still don't think he lives on his plate, which means he has his work permit. Broya is out. Will be out for, again, how long? Again, for the whole season, for the rest of the season. And Aubameyang, where are the legs? Yeah, so except if we're seriously considering Vlahovic.
In his defense, though, in Aubameyang's defense, he actually showed energy. It's the first time he's really... He put a shift in for 30 minutes. Okay, I grant you, but he did quite well energy-wise. Having said that, though, I'm sorry, I would have wanted Fofana on.
Yeah, I would. Again, even I was expecting him to be the one to come on, but I just don't understand what happened, really.
Yeah, I thought Potter got that wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah, he did, indeed. I don't know if Bobby has anything to say to that. If not, we'll move on. If you want, if you come on now, leave it be. Again, why is he deleting all his messages? And I cannot undelete it, really. If you're using all caps, be careful how you do that because, Nightbot is not a human being, it's a robot. It would delete your messages. So be careful how you use all caps there or emojis. Or if you're spelling something that's not, again, he sees as not readable, it will mark it as, again, a spam and he would delete it. Again, keep Gallagher, please. Again, he is finding his feet at Chelsea, and he is doing well, so well. Again, I am doing that again at Dumfries. Doing well again. In doing that, Dumfries is a must sign. I have to again compliment James. Jorginho must be released. Again, we must try and get something out of him this January transfer window and let him go. But I think he wouldn't want to leave now. He would want to leave on a free.
I thought he played one of his best games against Palace. I'm not talking about what he did with the ball. I'm talking about what he did when we were not in possession. I thought he tackled, he tracked back well, he showed energy. I was about to say he showed speed, but that's a lie. Because he doesn't, You know, doesn't have it, bless him. But I thought he played very soundly and solidly. He tackled well. I thought he had one of his best all-round games. I mean, I'm not a huge proponent of his, but I thought it was one of his better games.
Yeah, good day, Chinedu. I hope you're doing well. I really don't fancy Dumfries at all. I hope we don't get him. Okay, but I that's the one we're looking at right now.
Why don't you fancy? That's what I want to know.
Chinedu, can you elaborate a bit? It's important that you do. If you don't want him, why don't you want him? I want to know. Really, again, you can't just throw that at us and leave it there. You have to elaborate. Also, Hudson Odoi and Frimpong are best friends at Leverkusen. Okay, so he probably, and both are of Ghanaian descent. Frimpong is probably of Ghanaian origin. That name Frimpong. Correct me if I'm wrong. That striking department needs a complete overhaul, and it's high time Chelsea started looking out for a fix. I agree. A fix, no time at all. Maybe you can. It's not easy to do that in a rush. It's something we have to do strategically, not to make mistakes. Again, if you're watching, we are at 155 likes. If you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, what do we have here next? This one, Thomas Tuchel interested in Tottenham job if Antonio Conte leaves, despite Chelsea affection. Yeah. He's going to get them fired, even if it is for 3 seasons. At least they will win their first league. But the question is, will Levy spend the money for him? Because they probably, but again, they have good enough squad, actually. It's just Antonio Conte is not, he's one of those coaches you can say are not progressive enough.
They don't
Very
have depth.
predictable.
They don't have depth.
They don't have? Okay, yeah. So maybe they probably need to get him depth. I think he's available. I think he'll look to get him. He's again a tactical great actually. If you ask me, your thoughts. How would the Chelsea fans take it? Really,
that would be a dagger to the old heart. I really respect and love Tuchel for what he's done. Not some, in everything, especially when we were going through the embargo, etc. I just thought he was a great ambassador for our club.
A lot of managers would have walked.
Yeah, and not just that, it's the way he carried himself. He was going through a lot of personal turmoil, and
again, serious turmoil that can ruin a man. Really, it was about his marriage, his children, and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Exactly. When you take that into account, and also the fact that I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're the first Premier League team to ever be sanctioned and go through what we went through a year ago, and for what he did, and don't forget, listen, I think we reached 6 cup finals, and the worst cup run he had was the quarterfinal against Real Madrid, which we should have won. Actually, you
could say he's a cup specialist.
Yes, he really is, and I like silverware. I don't know about you, but I kind of like it.
No, I don't like him.
But I really, it would hurt to see him coach another team in the Premier League, especially a London team. Especially, that would be a double whammy. I mean, listen. I wish him well wherever he goes because of as an individual. He seems like a consummate professional and a good human being, and I think that showed in all his press conferences. He was sincere and forthright. I loved his pressers. I looked forward to them. This is what Potter lacks, but I don't care though. But he lacks charisma. And Tuchel has oodles of it. He has a good sense of humor. I wish him well. I really do. However, if he goes to Tottenham, I mean,
I'm waiting for you.
That's a true dichotomy. It's like, how can I wish him well and wish that team well? It's no. Oh, wow. That's really hard to even contemplate. Period. I'm sure Bobby will feel the same way.
Yeah, but Bobby, your thoughts on this one, really? I don't think it's close by. Go ahead, Roger. I'll be with you in a bit. I'm putting up a poll.
Yeah, sure. That's okay. No, I think I would like to see him back at Germany. It's simple as that. But I think he's listen. This term "world class" is used so often and too freely, but I believe he's a world class coach. I really do. I think he's one of the top 6 or 7 coaches in the world. I really do. Tuchel.
You think?
Yeah, I rate him that high. No, don't you rate him that highly?
Do we even need to say that?
No,
do you know how many those people again that are considered top class managers that he's outclassed tactically? If he had been a bit more, let me just say this: if Tuchel had been a bit more, you can say pragmatic, he'd win a lot more now. Yeah, that's German. That German approach to the game. If you win it, just keep winning. Don't go defensive. Don't try to lock the doors and end it as it is. But that's, by the way, I think
it's a German trait. It looks like because Klopp is like that. If he just watches Southgate for just a few seconds, he'd learn. I'm joking.
Yeah,
guys, Coach.
Bobby, I want to get your thoughts on this one, really.
Yeah, which one?
Thomas Tuchel is interested in Tottenham's job if Antonio Conte leaves, despite a Chelsea affection.
Well, it's typical Tottenham, isn't it? Want to be Chelsea. I think that attitude of theirs and their lack of originality they've gone. Each time they try to be like Chelsea, it never works. That's the problem with imitating somebody. If you imitate someone and try and take what they have, it never works. I'll never forget this guy that was trying to make himself look like David Beckham. You could see he looked like a fool, which is I don't know why my mind went there. There was this guy on the media was always trying to look like.
Oh my goodness! I'm a born again Christian, please.
So it's not gonna work. I mean, Tuchel is a fantastic manager in a setting. I think Tuchel was the right man for Chelsea at the time he came. It doesn't mean to say that's going to be translated elsewhere. He has managed elsewhere and it hasn't worked elsewhere. So I think Tottenham would be foolish to go for him. They probably will because they lack, they lack originality. But I think they'll be foolish. But, let them do it. It will hurt because I love Tommy T. It hurt when he left, rightly or wrongly. He was, he really was everything we want in a manager. His passion, his, and the way he stood by us during the sanction time. He's, and of course, winning the Champions League. So, I don't know, but that's Tottenham, isn't it? Copy Chelsea. And
look, they've got Kante. They've got Kante right now. Conte, I mean, sorry. They've got Conte right now. And look, he's not duplicating the success with which he had with Chelsea. Why? Because they don't have the squad.
Daniel Levy, if you're being specific.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
They don't have the squad because of Levy. He's not willing to open up the wallet. As simple as that. You have to give it to our previous owner. Take away politics. Take away the geopolitical aspect. He was too ruthless, in my opinion, with regards to like firing Ancelotti. But you cannot argue the results in a 20-year, 2-decade span. He was the most successful owner in football. It's simple as that. I mean, well, you're averaging a trophy a year, gentlemen, for 20 years consecutively.
No, I think Tottenham will be stupid. They're not thinking. Joachim Low is out there. They've got Pochettino, who did very well with them and was more of a fit for them. There are managers out there. There's even this guy that keeps getting linked to Chelsea, the Spaniard. What's his name?
Lopetegui?
No. Oh gosh, what's his name? The Spanish guy. It'll come to me.
Where did he coach before?
He coached their national team, Barcelona player.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Enrique. Luis
Yes,
Enrique.
Enrique, yes.
He's
There
out
you go.
there, but no, they don't have the imagination to go and get. There are many excellent guys out there, but they don't have the imagination. It's like, oh, Chelsea had this one.
Yeah, but who would you
We-
rather have, Enrique or Tuchel? If you were Daniel Levy, who would you rather hire?
I would look for somebody that will fit my model.
No, that's
To
true.
be honest,
That's a good point. And
I-
philosophy. Yeah, no, I get it.
I don't think Tuchel does. Hand on heart, I don't think Tuchel does. I think Tuchel fit Chelsea at the time he came to Chelsea, but later on, even he struggled. You know, when things changed and needed to change, he struggled. Now you could blame the players for that.
Well, he's got
But-
a reputation for being stubborn, I hear.
Exactly. So what makes
Yeah.
you think he could get on better with that lot? That lot in the Tottenham changing room are worse. Harry Kane and all the rest of them. You know, they look what they're doing to Conte now. So
But with a Kane, I think he would bring out the best. Wow. I mean, he would be scary for them.
Here's the thing. One thing I want to say is this. I know Bob. I understand Bobby's point, but just quickly, yes, guys. Even though I redid the poll again, I still have in the in the face of the news owners. I know you guys know I mean new owners, but that's by the way. What I want to say is this: I don't want it to happen because he's capable. Even if he's going to stay just 1 year or 2 years, he's capable of helping them win at least one trophy.
Yeah, yeah. I know one thing. Hypothetically, if he does coach Tottenham and they play at Stamford Bridge, he will get a standing ovation. He will be greeted with total respect and love. Don't you think so?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Look at
Really,
Conte.
I think so.
Look at Conte. I mean, I've been there and watched
Yeah,
Mourinho
no, I get
a
it.
bit of
I get
stick
it.
as
Conte's
well.
different. Conte didn't win us the big trophy. This
Oh,
one,
he
Kante's
won the
case,
Premier
actually, you
League.
could argue it was a gross miscalculation on their part. Kante, before he left Chelsea, was figured out by opposition clubs. Conte,
Yeah.
and probably they didn't calculate that very well. They think he was going to be able to replicate what he did at Chelsea, but no. If they were paying attention, they would have known it didn't end well, and that was because clubs figured him out. It's always the same approach. The wing backs. Again, in some cases, if you're better than them, they don't mind soaking it up and hitting you on a counter. But go ahead with what you were saying before. I'll catch up with what we have in the chat in a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you know, who knows? You know, nobody. It could work. It could work. You know, wonderfully. But for me, I personally think, you know, having gone to two ex-Chelsea managers simply because of Chelsea, I think Tottenham, if they're sensible, they will see that they've enjoyed their most successful times when they've done things their way. It's like this thing with Chelsea. Chelsea enjoy our most successful times when we use our youth and we plow our own direction. Nobody, you know, everything is unique. Everyone is unique. And to me, success comes from when you can find your own formula. I just think, you know, going to dig up a Chelsea manager when you are, you know, when you're not Chelsea, I just don't see it. I really don't. You know, look what they did with Pochettino. They've never done anything like that since. What does that tell you?
I think they made a mistake actually letting Poch go. It's been worse ever since. They've been worse off.
But, you know, they will do what they will do, and it's really their business. I really couldn't.
They probably took him for granted because he was able to work with what they had when he was still there. But that's, by the way, we move on from that. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat here. Temi Dias says this is the news that broke on me again this morning for a reason I really cannot understand. What news in particular? Did I miss it? Did I miss anything there? You let me know. TT, okay, the news about TT, again, the possibility of him becoming Tottenham manager. TT is just wonderful, man. Again, the thought of him, of having him, again, being a rival manager, again, it's already killing. I wouldn't like to see that happen. The Blues game, Jose Conte, now Tuchel. I'm sure, again, Esposito will be in for Potter in the next summer, but that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I get where you're coming from, but Yeah, again, Titi became my favorite manager after, again, he weathered it through our toughest time in our club's history. That will never be forgotten by the fan base. Coach and colleague, what's your view on Brozovic of Croatia as one of our midfield prospects? I am not sure of age, though, but he's a fine midfielder. He's still a fighter. But here's the thing, I don't think we'll get the chance to get Brozovic. Why do I say that? Who's to play again from Barcelona? I think they're trying to facilitate a straight swap. Frank Caicedo. Intermediaries have actually already had discussions regarding the possibility of Brozovic joining Barcelona and Frank Caicedo going back to Italy, but this time to Inter Milan, not AC Milan, because he was at AC Milan. So I don't think Brozovic comes, and I don't think Barcelona will say no to this, because she could argue Frank Caicedo at this point is surplus to requirement, and they got him on a free, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
And you could argue, whereas Caicedo is more physical of the two, but again, Brozovic is more physical.
I like Caicedo. I like Caicedo.
Yeah, I liked him. He would have been good for the Premier League. Just like see how well what's the Ghanaian doing, how well he's doing for Arsenal. That would have been the same case. But in the case of Brozovic, is more suited to the way Barcelona plays than Frank Caicedo. I think that will end up happening. I don't think we'll have a chance to get Brozovic. But what a player he is! A good shout there. When didn't it work? When did it work out for Tuchel? Great years with Dortmund, even with Mainz. Great years with Mainz. Great years with Dortmund. Pushed Bayern and only manager to take PSG to a final.
What I meant was that with Tuchel, it always comes to some sort of end.
Yeah, that's but that was when I said, even though it will come to some sort of end, before that happens, he'd win something with them. So I don't want him to go there at all. He hardly leaves anywhere without dropping one trophy or two. That's what I thought. Just check out, for instance, Jose Mourinho went to Manchester United. He didn't leave them empty-handed. He won one trophy for them.
He's a serial winner.
Yeah, so that's the thing. That's why I don't want them to. You could argue if Daniel Levy gets his sign on him, he'll probably go into the market and get what he wants. And he's one manager that he's meticulous. Looks at the team, he will know where to start fixing the problems immediately to at least achieve something, even if he doesn't stay there 10 years. But he wins something for them. I don't want it to happen, but unfortunately, it's going to happen. We let him go. He has every right to decide to go to Tottenham, no matter how we feel about that. But that's, by the way, I think this, again, further rather, again, heightened the concern of rivalry between Chelsea and Tottenham than any disguised need for a new coach with Spurs. I think that's well put. You sound like a teacher, my friend. Tuchel will never join Tottenham. You think? It's business for everybody involved. Did you expect the club to fire him? No, they did. And I even heard something that broke my heart, that he was even begging to give him time, that they should give him more time, which I haven't heard before. If that, I don't know whether that was the truth, but it broke my heart. I've moved on from him, but I really do not want him to join Tottenham. But the fans' opinion this time don't really matter. If he wants to join them, it's business. Except if it's happening too soon for him, maybe he will say, maybe not right now. He just needs it together again. I don't know. Again, I wouldn't rule them out. If they get new investments in Tuchel, they already have the stadium. Yep. Location, fan base with a good technical director already. Yep, he'd go there and do something.
Don't forget, isn't it Tottenham that I think it's a Qatari consortium are thinking of investing a minority amount in the Tottenham?
I'm not well acquainted with that.
Yeah, that's been on the news in Britain lately, and that's scary because if Tottenham, Qataris, usually they don't want to be minority participants, which means that they're looking long term. So they're looking to maybe purchase. I think you're going to see quite a few Premier League teams being purchased by these huge, wealthy. Long of the days are gone for Chelsea being the big kid on the block. Unfortunately.
Oh yeah, we started the trend.
Yeah, look at Newcastle.
It has expanded. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, look at Newcastle. You know, they're the same thing. So it's going to be harder to be more successful in England, unfortunately. So, you know, if he does go to Tottenham, and indeed Tottenham do have new financial backers, regardless, even if it's minority initially, it doesn't bode well for Chelsea.
Yep. Again, he says Tuchel will join Real Madrid. That's a possibility. But I think again, Xavi is doing well. I was thinking Xavi so far is doing well. Tuchel at Tottenham wouldn't win anything. Don't bet your life against that. And by the way, I'm hearing the Real Madrid are not too pleased with Rudiger. They're saying he hasn't performed to the level they want him to. Yeah. We have to beat Liverpool. We have to do so. Found you on Twitter and followed you, Coach. Okay, I'll follow you back immediately. I'm not sure how much time we have. Hopefully, my wife will agree to help the boy prepare for school. She's at home today. Then I'd like us to continue for a bit. We haven't reached a 3-hour mark, but we'll be rounding up soon. Okay, thank you so much. I'll follow you back in a bit. Again, Nitty Boy, again, 06, I won't forget that. If Tuchel joins Tottenham after Romero and Cucurella, then again, gonna be interesting. It will be quite interesting too. Just chilling. If he has 2 legs and can kick a ball, Chelsea are interested. I haven't seen that one before. Yeah, or maybe just score the goal. Then we're interested. Yeah, that's a very good one, really. Again, I would take Caicedo to Chelsea. I think he still do well, but we're not getting him because he's contracted to Barcelona. And
I know. I really wanted him, though, Coach. Yeah, I really did.
Yeah, and probably Barca will not say, they won't say no to what's his name, Brozovic, right? That's the guy we talked about, the swap deal. Yeah, I think I'm correct. Yeah, but that's, by the way, his first name is Marcelo, last name Brozovic. It's really going to stink to see TT in the white corner of London. But having said that, I don't think there will be, again, much the club could do. Yeah, did you consider all those things when you let him go? Nearly every manager comes to some end. Even Pep has an end at clubs. Yep. Then he moves on to somewhere else. It's business for all parties involved. Tuchel is a sports fan between. Oh, I forgot that.
Is he really?
Yeah. Maybe he's not really, but he said, we've heard that before when he joined us.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, I just remember. I just remembered that. Yeah, it gets interesting, really. But he has a bond with us now. Again, it's something. I just remembered that. I remember
shoot me.
It was going about again around in the fan base actually at one point. Big up everyone, True Blue Clay. I don't want him going to that graveyard. He will improve them. That's my fear. No matter how bad they are in the short term, just like Conte did last year. But with Daniel Levy, that's the best that will happen. But Thomas Tuchel is capable of winning something. He's more, you can say, from a tactical perspective, he's more, you can say, should I say, diversified than Conte is, really. Hi, I'm a Chelsea fan. Again, why not Blues not go for Mohamed Kudus? I don't know. Again, my Ghanaian brother, I'm guessing your name, Kwaku Amoako, I don't know, really. But if they're interested in him, I don't know. Highlights, you okay things at Chelsea get Leandro Trossard? Yeah, I want it to happen. Some people say no, but I really want that to happen. Tuchel begged to have more time. Yeah, he did. Yeah, according to he even begged for it. That broke my heart, really. It made me cry. But that's, by the way, I've moved on from him, but I'm not going to really move on if he joins sports. Good afternoon, Sonny Prosper. Good afternoon to you too. Highlights again. You think Chelsea get Leandro? I don't know the possibility, really. Emmanuel Obeda and Tuchel can join any club he wants. Yep, that's the truth. But if he can, for the sake of our relationship, his relationship with Chelsea fans, please don't. I wish he would not be coaching any EPL sides, but there is nothing we can do about it. We let him go. He's free to do whatever he wants. Rudiger should have stayed. But yeah, you get the whole situation. Potter is going to build our team, and those who doesn't like him will start loving him. It takes only a time to be. Yeah, I hope that happens. I want to see that happen. Do you think Graham Potter would take Chelsea somewhere? It depends on where. You have to say where. Maybe the Bluetooth again, please. Can you answer this question from this bro? It depends on where. Where is where? You have to be specific. But I truly understand what you're asking. But I'm not gonna just be vague with my response. Be specific, and maybe I'll come up with something for you.
If he's given time, coach, listen, seriously, all joking aside, and by the way,
no, he will build a team for us, definitely. He just needs time.
You have to understand one thing. If Graham Potter and Tuchel swap places, where we got rid of Potter and Tuchel was in his place, I would be saying the same thing for Tuchel. It's not that I'm pro Potter, it's I'm pro the coach currently, regardless of who that person is, that he should be given more time based on the fact that we've been decimated. Because, listen, when we're fully fit, when we miss Kante, have we not agreed we are a completely different team? Same can be said for Reece James, you know, and the same can be said for Silva. So we're missing 2 out of the 3 most important players, in my opinion, and a plethora, a mere myriad of other people. So I think it's unfair to judge someone based on how many players we're losing, regardless of how you think.
We shouldn't even be going there. He's just asking if I think he can take us somewhere, and it's not specific.
I think he can. If he's given the time, let's say he's given a year and a half, let's say all of next year, and we don't suffer the same level of injuries, hopefully, then I think he should get us at least in the top 4, for instance. Winning silverware, that I can't tell you.
Yeah.
And also he's learning. He's going to grow also. You know, he hasn't achieved or led a top team before, you know, so this is incremental for him. And I think it behooves us to allow a person to grow with a team. How do you think Pep started or Klopp started? You have to give them somewhere to start, you know. Someone has to start somewhere. You know, look at United's boss. He didn't win anything for the first 6 years. You know, I think he won one domestic cup, and that was it. And he was close to being fired. You know, he didn't win the Premier League, I think, until his 6th year. So, you know, these things matter. Those days are gone, though. You know, we're never going to give any coach 6 years to win anything. As simple as that.
Yeah, Alan Paju all over.
7-year deal. That's a classic. 7 years.
That's why let me catch up with the chat. We should be rounding up soon. Again, I think we'll get Michi on another day because already the gang just opened the door and spoke to me. Asked me if I recognize what time it is. Tuchel deserves to be in the Premier League. Why not go to Tottenham? Whatever. Again, a team he joins. Again, he just leave him. We let him go. Again, why cry if he joins someone else? It's like, again, you break up with your girlfriend and then be worried who they date.
Exactly.
It's not your freaking business. Just leave them live their life. If TT go to Spurs, and sad to say, but he will win silverware. It's as simple as that. Maybe after winning the silverware, some things will fall apart because probably Levy won't be willing to spend money. Oh boy, Spurs are gonna win the Champions League now. If he gets to the final, he's as good at winning it. Took a Spurs fan. I forgot. Yeah, remember we talked about that. Yeah, seriously, we did talk about that at serious length, and he would be happy together. So, again, quite a lot to read. Trossard will fit well again with us again at Chelsea. Fact, yep. Again, why TT not coming to Chelsea? He deserved. Would you go back? I don't go back again. I advise don't go back to your ex. Move on. Why is Potter using Havertz as false nine? I don't know, and I don't want to talk about how can we win the UEFA Champions League this season. It's still very possible with the reinforcements, and they are eligible to play because we're beyond this group stage now. So maybe if we're strategic with our signings, anything can happen. And if we're being truthful, except for the game against what's the Austrian team? What's the Austrian team?
Sporting Vienna. I'm trying to think.
Is it again the Austrian team? I think, yeah. Except for that, but every other Champions League, I think we could say
Salzburg.
Yeah, Salzburg. Yeah, except for against them away, I think we did well overall. So plus the improvements we have now, players recovering from injury too. Maybe we're capable of doing that. Never say never. And if we're being honest, the two times we've won it, we weren't again. Except for the one under Tomosuke, you could say we were on form. But the other one, we were not the best side in the final. But yeah, being logical, the best side won overall. But again, the play was again, you could say we were just determined. The Bayern thought they've won it already, and it was in their home ground. But that's by the way, we'll move on from that. I just cannot wait again.
Yeah, I just header was pure.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I just cannot wait. The vibes and tempt this guy can bring to EPL, even if he sees opponents, sees opponents have killed the game. His morale still clings to 360 degree. He's a real sportsman. Yeah, what a contribution there. We got to take it again a step at a time. This is not again a small project. Things normally get worse before. Yeah, I understand that in terms of the project, they get better. Yeah. Again, people, apologies. I have to scroll to the very bottom. We're calling it a day soon because I have to go take care of something. I mean, even to finish top 4, it seems very impossible for Potter. Though again, it's just suggesting. Given the situation we'll find ourselves in, it's very difficult to make it the top 4. But never say never. If we're strategic with our signings, I think we can still make it there. When we have Kante and Reece James, we're the best. Yeah, and I don't want that happening all the time. That's why we need a squad depth. We need competition, good competition for all the 2 players you just mentioned. Yeah. Sorry?
Read what the beautiful game just wrote. Oh, ouch.
All the way, yeah. Okay, all right, get it. Again, yes, guys, apologies for all the people that I missed your comment in the chat. I can't take everything right now. Unfortunately, it is late for me. But I want to say again, a big up to my brother DJ Sav. A big up panel in the chat. Again, I hope you're doing well, brother. So I'm going to try and highlight this. Roger, your final thoughts on everything we talked about today.
No, listen. Shockingly, I agree with everything that you chaps have basically stated. I'm looking forward to the future. I really am. I'm just concerned about the right back position more than anything. You know, other than that, I can't wait to get João Felix back. I can't wait to see where Gallagher plays. I think our future's bright, chaps. I really do.
Oh yeah,
I'm optimistic.
The future is the least of my concern. The immediate future is what concerns me.
No, that's
the most.
true. It's the immediate future. And I think we're going to be top 7. I'm sure we're going to be in Europe. I know it would be the lesser league, and I know you have an issue with that. But if we can listen, where are we? Technically, we're the first to second week of December, usually in a calendar year, without the World Cup. So it's early days yet. We can still make top 4, but we have to put a serious string of victories together. Can we? It's possible. Doubtful, probably, but you're right. We need to worry about getting it into Europe for next year because of fiscal reasons. Also, this is a huge factor. If we don't get in Europa League next year, we're going to take a financial hit, even though it's less than the Champions League, you know. But it's still it makes financial sense for us. So we need that top 7 position. So we need to pull our socks up.
Yeah. Yeah, Bobby, your thoughts, please take a minute or two, your final thoughts on everything we've talked about so I could call it a day. I'm already late. It looks like, yeah, I should not want to do that, but I'll go take care of it myself. Bobby, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You know, I once again concur with my brother, Roger. Look, we have no reason not to trust this project. You know, considering the period of time the project has started and the way it has started, I think the new ownership has done tremendously well. I think it is foolish for people to expect that all of a sudden they're going to lay out all their plans in detail for the media to scrutinize. I mean, who does that? They give you a skeletal idea of what they're doing, which they've told us, and the details will be up to them. And you will see as it unravels. As I've said, in 6 months, they've ripped up trees. They are putting together a formidable squad right from scratch and refurbishing the entire squad, which is not an easy thing to do.
And the youth I love.
Yeah, I believe like you. Although the guy gives me kittens. Um, we have to see what Potter's about. He's had all these injuries, and he really.
Roger, just laugh. Don't hold it.
Yeah, I know.
Good.
I mean, he really hasn't had the opportunity to see what he's about, and probably won't till after he's had a pre-season. So, and all these players in. So, we need to just watch and see what he's doing. The new owners have chosen him, and they will sink or swim with him. It's quite clear. So we have to watch and have faith in what's going on. And I think these guys mean business. Every move they've made shows they mean business. And you know what the barometer of that is? The media, the way they hate us now. Anything we do is demonized. But the funny thing is,
in England, we're really demonized, Coach. You don't get it. Living here,
No, I know.
You should be here. It's brutal.
I know. Yeah, at least we don't have too much time. Yeah, go ahead, Bobby.
The funny thing is, when Man United look like they're about to have owners to spend money, it's all good. They're all excited about that. But when it's Chelsea, it's the spawn of the devil. We don't care about them. We're going to continue doing what we're doing. And these guys, honestly, if they succeed in getting these sets of players, they've almost finished refurbishing the squad, and they get rid of the players they're going to have to get rid of.
Just quickly. That's a video of Modric being shared in training ground. He smoked all the Chelsea players, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8.
Yeah, there's several videos of them training.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, go ahead, Bobby. Please, I got to run. But I think I'll share this one with you when I get a chance. But I have to run soon.
Please. I mean, there are many videos of them training today, and it's good. But
wow.
It's not training we're after, is it? We want that to happen at Anfield and for him to score. So, I mean, look, we have no reason not to be optimistic, and we need to ignore the detractors and be focused on the progress of our club.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bobby. I appreciate that. And to those in the chat, I cannot thank you guys enough. Let me see who we have there. Just quickly, where is it? What am I doing here? Live chat. Thanks to Kimso. I love you, brother. Thank you so much. Exactly, Bobby, let them cry. Yeah, again, Coach, show the video of Modric smoking the CFC players. I will keep it then. If tomorrow I'll share it. Again, I'll save it. I'll share it to Bobby and I'll share it with you tomorrow. Please, again, I'm out of time already. Clune, again, we saw already last season how weak players in the squad are. As Tucker said, again, it's the same players. Okay, yeah, good point there. The beautiful game after the squad rebuild, it's the stadium rebuild. The future is indeed bright. Yep, that's the truth. Again, the future is bright. The immediate future is my concern. Roger, don't forget Modric, mates. Again, looking forward to seeing him play as well. Liverpool debut. And every other person, Liam Lynn, my brother, who couldn't make it today because he is not feeling well. So please keep praying for him. I hope he recovers. Thank you to, again, what's this brother's name? How do I forget his name? Declared, my brother, not you. I wasn't thinking about your name. I know your name. I wouldn't forget. The True Blue Clay, thank you so much for all the love. And for Michi, again, Midcoast64, I appreciate that. See you guys next time. God bless us all and bye.
Thank you.
you.